This is a world where every household raises spirit beasts. Whether you're a powerful master or at the top of the world, it all comes down to the combat power of the spirit beast you own. And then there's this guy, who suddenly finds himself transmigrated. In this beast-taming world, aside from the fact that the body Su Ping has taken over, belongs to a loser who likes to mess with girls, he can at least consider himself lucky to own a spirit beast shop. The first thing Su Ping decides to do is follow the directions to find his shop and see what it's actually like. However, upon arriving, he really doesn't know if he should call this place a shop at all because it looks no different from a dumpster run down on the outside and on the inside. The pets are making a mess everywhere and the smell is unbearable. Su Ping looks at the scene and feels incredibly depressed. He thought he inherited some resources from the original owner, but it turns out he just inherited a pile of garbage that the guy left behind. Su Ping is just about to roll up his sleeves to clean up when suddenly someone kicks him hard in the back, sending him sprawling forward and rolling several times on the floor. "Who the hell is that?" Su Ping shouts furiously. Standing in front of him is a guy who looks like trouble. "Who, you ask? Well, you've already forgotten a customer you just took in. I've been waiting here for you all week." Su Ping has absolutely no impression of this person, so he assumes this must be an enemy. Before he can even respond, the guy screams again, 3 full days, 3 whole days. I left my wind-chasing beast in your care, and damn it, you locked it up with 10 lions for 3 days. Do you have any idea how ruthless they are? Do you have any idea how it had to survive these past 3 days? Su Ping understands the problem immediately. He looks at the wind-chasing beast, which looks emaciated and sick and can't help but sigh. The original owner of this body really was a piece of work. Su Ping hurriedly tries to appease the guy. "I'm really sorry. I'll take responsibility and continue to take good care of your pet properly. I won't charge you a single cent. I don't want your pathetic money." The guy grinds his teeth and then orders his beast to attack. This beast, a moment ago it looked frail and sickly, but after hearing its master's command, it becomes incredibly ferocious. Before Su Ping can even fully realize what is happening, the beast has already circled behind his back. Its tail, which is a sharp, cold scythe, wraps straight around Su Ping's throat. Feeling the cold metal, Su Ping can't help but break into a cold sweat on his forehead. He curses the original owner internally. Why on earth would he want to die by provoking these people? "Let's talk this over, okay? Can't we all just sit down and negotiate? How about this? I'll compensate you 3 times the fee deal." Su Ping tries to salvage the situation. "Compensate? You turned my battle pet into a wet bear and you think you can compensate me?" the guy roars back. Then his expression suddenly changes. "Oh, I've got it. I just thought of a brilliant idea." Having said that, he orders his Dark Wind Chaser to use a new move to blow this pet shop away to restore the dignity of his battle pet, which carries the bloodline of a white dragon. Su Ping is panicked and helpless, watching the Black Panther prepare to strike. He truly doesn't know what to do. Does this mean he's going to lose everything the moment he gets here? He's a transmigrator, for crying out loud. There's no way he could be such a loser that he doesn't even have a single battle pet. Just as he thinks this, a blinding light like a bolt of lightning strikes Su Ping from the sky. The guy and his wind chaser are both frozen like statues. At that same moment, a virtual window appears in front of Su Ping. Suitable target detected. Beginning binding contract. Su Ping's heart, which was hanging in his throat, finally settles down. That's more like it. He's a transmigrator. How? Could he be without a VIP Pro system? Then on the virtual window in front of him, several lines of text appear, binding with Shop Roju. Now it's Su Ping's turn to be frozen solid. Why bind to this shop? And not to me. Initially, Su Ping reacted this way because he thought he had been bound to some useless system. However, after the binding process is complete, the system announces that Su Ping is now immune to damage while in the shop, which means that right now any attack is completely useless against him. This is practically the same as being invincible. Su Ping looks at his hands in confusion and mutters, "But isn't the target of the binding this shop?" The system reads his thoughts and responds, "When the shop is bound, the shop owner is bound as well." Su Ping is speechless. This system doesn't seem very professional. The system's ownership process is complete and time and space return to normal. The thug and his Dark Wind Chaser are no longer frozen and the pet's attack is unleashed again. However, this time, Su Ping doesn't plan to stand there and take the hit. Facing the beast that is opening its mouth wide to strike, the simplest way is to shut it up. thinking is doing. He lunges like a gust of wind and uses his hand to clamp its snout shut. "You want to do what to my shop?" Su Ping stares coldly. The dark wind chaser, seeing this, breaks into a cold sweat. From its throat, it can only let out a few pitiful whimpers. "Swallow it for me, Su Ping!" Su commands again. This time, it is an order. And so the dark wind chaser, despite feeling extremely aggrieved, has to swallow its own attack, then lie flat on the ground, trembling uncontrollably, completely stripped of its majestic appearance. Having handled the beast, Su Ping turns to its master. "May I ask, do you have any complaints about the shop's service, sir?" The thug who was so aggressive just a moment ago, after seeing Su Ping block the dark wind chaser's move with his bare hands, is already terrified to the point of turning pale. "No, I don't." Sensing the fear in the guy Su Ping, after dealing with this, pet Su Ping turned to its owner and asked, "Do you have any complaints about our shop's service, sir?" The thug who had been acting so aggressive just a moment ago was now pale with terror after seeing Su Ping stop that dark gale attack with his bare hands. No, I don't." Su Ping quickly sensed his opponent's fear. Taking advantage of the moment, I stepped closer to him and said, "If you don't have any objections, leave the dark gale beast at our shop for a few more days. I promise to take good care of it." It sounded like a request, but the man felt a chilling, murderous aura radiating from Su Ping. He felt like he was about to be silenced, so the very next second, without any signal or warning, both the dark gale beast and its owner bolted out of the place like their lives depended on it. After they left, Su Ping received a notification. It was from the system saying the shop's crisis had been resolved, giving him the authority to perform a shop cleanup. Su Ping was quite pleased. "This system is actually pretty thoughtful," he muttered, immediately tapping to use the authority. In the blink of an eye, his cluttered shop became sparkling clean and tidy. Even the floor was reflective enough to be used as a mirror. Curious, Su Ping started walking around the shop. Exploring, he entered a room and discovered that the pet cages had been upgraded to something very modern. Inside, 2 pets were fast asleep, though Su Ping couldn't shake the feeling that the pets inside looked smaller than he had imagined. Sensing his thoughts, the system immediately explained, "This is the pet cultivation cage. Pets entrusted here will have their physical standards adjusted. The capacity is 2 out of 9, providing cultivation efficiency and therapeutic benefits for the pets." Su Ping nodded to himself. "This upgrade is really something, but I'm still worried. What if that stinky dog does its business in here? How would I clean that up?" "Host, no need to." "Don't worry, Sao," the system replied, "because pets inside the cultivation cage enter a meditative state. They won't feel hunger or thirst, nor will they have the need to relieve themselves." Su Ping nodded, seemingly satisfied with this upgrade. Then he remembered something else and asked, "These 2 pets were both left here by customers, right?" The system replied, "To prevent anyone else from coming to cause trouble, what should I do?" The system didn't answer. Instead, it went ding and sent a new main quest. The task was to choose 1 pet and train it to level 3. Su Ping looked at the 2 options before him and decided to choose the one named Thunderlight Mouse. After all, he didn't really like dogs anyway. The Thunderlight Mouse is a lightning element pet with a current combat power of level 1. Its existing skill is flirting. Su Ping felt like he had been slapped hard in the face. What the hell kind of skill is flirting? What about lightning attacks? Skills depend on the owner's daily training routines. The system sent a notification. To answer his confusion, followed by another notification, "Pet selected. Entering the cultivation interface, Thundercloud Realm." Su Ping had just finished reading the notification, when suddenly a massive hole appeared beneath his feet. Both Su Ping and the Thunderlight Mouse were sucked into the pitch-black abyss. After free-falling for who knows how long, they finally hit the ground. The place known as the Thundercloud Realm appeared before his eyes. The first thing that caught Su Ping's attention was a massive tree, but it didn't have a single leaf on it. This giant tree made both him and the Thunderlight Mouse tremble uncontrollably. Just the tree alone. Was this big? How massive must the creatures around here be? Just then, the system sent another notification explaining that the Thundercloud Realm is a habitat for many giant beasts and the lightning element is very dense. It's the perfect place for lightning element pets to cultivate. The probability of encountering beasts under 100 meters here is very high. The chance of seeing one 1,000 meters tall is low, and the probability of encountering beasts 10,000 meters or taller is extremely low. After reading that, Su Ping was actually quite excited. This newbie village is pretty terrifying. I just got here, and the chance of seeing a 100-meter beast is already high. But that little Thunderlight mouse was already so scared that its fur was standing on end. And it seemed their luck wasn't very good at all, because right after that, a monster suddenly appeared in the sky. Compared to its size, even Su Ping was as tiny as an ant, let alone the Thunderlight mouse in his arms. That monster opened its mouth the moment it appeared, spitting out a bolt of lightning aimed straight at Su Ping. Everything went pitch black, and he received a notification, "Host has died." When Su Ping regained consciousness, he couldn't help but gasp for air in terror. What the hell was that? Was I one-shotted in a single move? Ding! The system's notification appeared again. It announced that Su Ping had been killed by a Beast King 0.73 seconds ago and was now in the resurrection space waiting to be revived. Along with this message came a serious-sounding warning. If Su Ping couldn't complete this mission within the time limit, his rating score would be lowered. If the score dropped below 60 points, he would lose his life, and leaving the training area before the time limit would be considered an incomplete mission. Su Ping read the notification and his face immediately darkened. This shitty system, you didn't mention anything about a rating score when I took the quest? And how many points do I even have now? Su Ping asked, trembling. Host's score is too low. You do not have the authority to check your score, the system replied ruthlessly. And another thing. Do you see the scroll bar on the notification? Drag it down to see the rewards and penalties for the mission. Su Ping did as the system instructed. Indeed, below the quest information were some other lines of text he hadn't read yet. Specifically, the number of free resurrections in this mission is infinite. The reward is the primary pet appraisal skill. The time limit for completion is 3 days. If the mission fails, Su Ping's score will be drastically reduced. Damn this asshole system for trying to screw me, Su Ping shouted. A Beast King in a newbie village. How is that possible? Meeting a Beast King is a very low probability event. The host should find suitable prey to eliminate on your own. Also, the host's perception is too low. It is suggested to sign a temporary contract with a pet, the system replied. This was practically saying it was Su Ping's bad luck, not its responsibility. Su Ping was absolutely furious, but arguing with a heartless system was pointless. Moreover, the resurrection wait time had ended and he was temporarily compatible with pets, the system replied. Is this any different from saying it's Su Ping's bad luck rather than the system's fault? Su Ping was truly furious, but arguing with a heartless system was useless. Besides, the revival cooldown period had finally ended. Let's head back to the Lightning Cloud realm, back to the Lightning Mouse. Awaiting Su Ping's command following the system's advice, he quickly forged a temporary contract with it. Without much delay, the emotional and mental link between him and his pet was successfully established. This time, he figured he wouldn't be unlucky enough to run into a Beast King like before. Su Ping seized the moment to take the Lightning Mouse hunting, and as luck would have it, not long after, Su Ping spotted a grazing horse. To Su Ping, this wasn't a very threatening beast, but to the Lightning Mouse, it was a creature that seemed terrifying. Perhaps it was the size difference. After forming the contract, Su Ping could sense the Lightning Mouse's extreme fear. This made him suspect that something must be dangerous ahead. And Su Ping's intuition proved true, for immediately after another terrifying creature appeared out of nowhere and launched a sneak attack, swallowing that horse whole. Upon seeing this, the Lightning Mouse's attitude shifted. It seemed quite aggressive. It doesn't look like it's even 100 meters long. We've got a shot. Let's go take it out. Lightning Mouse, Su Ping commanded fiercely. The mouse also eagerly lunged forward. He told it to use its biting power, and the Lightning Mouse obeyed, but who would have expected that this creature, looking like a giant centipede, would have such thick, hard armor? The Lightning Mouse charged straight into it with all its might, only to end up suffering a head injury upon impact and dying instantly. However, through this process of throwing an egg against a rock, it learned a new skill called impact. Su Ping's face darkened once again. The Lightning Mouse's combat ability was truly pathetic. Fortunately, he could revive it infinitely, so no matter how high the opponent's HP was, he could chip away at it little by little. Su Ping immediately revived his pet. This time, the lightning mouse changed its approach to get closer to the centipede. Instead of crashing head-on, Su Ping instructed it to use its small, agile frame to constantly weave and dodge the opponent's attacks. After zipping back and forth, Su Ping finally spotted a weak point. He ordered the lightning mouse to use the impact skill it had just learned, aiming its full force at the junction between the creature's back and belly. And this time, it actually succeeded in dealing damage. It's just that right after the lightning mouse was bitten by that centipede getting sent to the graveyard for the second time, Su Ping persisted, not giving up. He continued to revive his pet. Just like that time and time again in the lightning element-rich environment, the lightning mouse grasped most of the lightning power. Now it could use lightning to support its impact skill, leveling it up into lightning impact. Su Ping was incredibly excited. Even though his pet had been getting beaten up this whole time, to a pulp, he hadn't expected the skill to upgrade so quickly. Now, with this new move, it should surely be able to pierce that beast's armor. Su Ping couldn't wait and ordered the lightning mouse to trigger lightning impact, and the effect of the skill wasn't bad at all as that massive, overwhelming centipede was finally taken down. Although they succeeded, the lightning mouse seemed completely exhausted. It looked like its stamina wasn't very good. It could only use lightning impact one more time. So for now, Su Ping had to let it rest and recover before hunting for new prey. Just then, the ground began to shake violently. Su Ping couldn't stand and fell backward. At first, he thought it was an earthquake, but then a swarm of beasts suddenly erupted from the ground. Damn it, they were all cohorts of that centipede. And those centipedes, the moment they appeared, they attacked aggressively. Both Su Ping and the lightning mouse were lashed by their tails, seeing stars. Su Ping was sent flying and slammed hard into the ground. It hurt so much it felt like he'd broken 5 or 6 ribs. It seemed these adult centipedes were far more fearsome than the larvae from before. Even though he and the lightning mouse could revive infinitely, continuing such a lopsided battle was truly exhausting, especially for the lightning mouse when its injuries were quite severe and it hadn't even recovered its stamina yet. Su Ping helplessly chose to stop resisting. There were just too many enemies. Many. Even with infinite revivals, they couldn't hold out for long. He felt he should decide when to revive and continue grinding. That would be the wisest choice. However, when a centipede lunged at Su Ping and opened that gruesome mouth, the lightning mouse reacted to protect its master. Its whole body was trembling in pain, yet it still lunged forward using lightning impact to slice through the opponent. Su Ping was shocked that it could still use the skill in such an exhausted state, and it did it through its own willpower without waiting for his command. Seeing the lightning mouse's fighting spirit, Su Ping suddenly didn't want to give up anymore. So what if they were backed into a corner? This was a perfect opportunity to gain experience. If the lightning mouse hadn't given up, then he certainly couldn't just sit there and wait to die. Thinking of this, he picked up a discarded centipede leg from the ground as a weapon to defend himself. In the blink of an eye, the swarm of centipedes rushed in again. This was clearly an uneven battle, but neither Su Ping nor the lightning mouse gave up. And then no heaven-defying miracle occurred. In the end, they still got wiped out. Both Su Ping and the lightning mouse were randomly revived at a different location, escaping the chase of those centipedes. The confusing part was even after a full health revival, Su Ping felt so exhausted he couldn't catch his breath. Just as he thought about it, the system sent a notification to explain even with a full health bar, Su Ping still had to bear a portion of the mental burden. Because his current mental power was too low, reviving multiple times in a short period meant feeling tired was completely normal. The system advised that while increasing combat power, he should also pay attention to training his mental capacity. So that was it, Su Ping muttered then, sat down heavily. A wheel is only as good as its air pressure. If it's flat, it won't roll. It seemed he really needed to get this body into shape. Before he could rest, for long, Su Ping suddenly saw the lightning mouse stand straight up with an extremely tense expression. Su Ping also jumped up, scanning his surroundings. The lightning mouse. What's with this reaction? Is there an enemy nearby? Just as Su Ping thought this, he noticed the strange cartilage-like soil scattered all around them. Suddenly, the ground split open. Instinctively, Su Ping and the lightning mouse did a few rolls and scrambled backward. The beast that emerged this time was less than 10 meters tall, but when it opened its mouth, it spewed highly corrosive acid. A single touch could melt a body instantly. Su Ping steadied himself and ordered the lightning mouse to go all out. Charge, show them how much you've grown. They struggled for a long time, taking down countless beasts until their carcasses were piled high. Su Ping finally completed the mission. He and the lightning mouse collapsed onto the chaotic pile of beast remains. Gasping for air, Su Ping was truly shocked. Earlier, the lightning mouse had actually mastered one of the 10 legendary lightning system ultimate techniques, the lightning afterimage. This mastery level skill is ranked into 6 grades based on combat power. The higher the quality, the greater the power. Among the countless skills, some originated from the ancient era and are called ultimate techniques. It is said that these secret arts have long been lost. Only beast pets with extraordinary talent can comprehend them. Who would have thought that this scrawny little lightning mouse would have such a stroke of luck? The Thundercloud Sea Realm possesses high-purity lightning elements. After countless attacks, the lightning mouse finally unlocked the potential to learn the ultimate technique. The system sent a new notification to explain Su Ping's confusion. "Oh, so that's it. All right, take me back," Su Ping said weakly. His entire body had no strength left. The system quickly initiated the process to close the cultivation interface. Su Ping was about to be disconnected from the Thundercloud Sea Realm, so the temporary link between him and the lightning mouse was also severed. Su Ping closed his eyes. He really had nothing left in him. At the same time, the final selection round of the Beast to Mare competition was taking place in the real world. This is an annual event held at the Phoenix Mountain Academy in Longjiang City. Students participating in this competition all carry the hope of becoming master beast tamers and joining the pioneer teams as soon as possible. As with every year, there were a few names expected to go far, such as Yehao Zhang Shuihan and Zhang Xiao. That day in the crowd, a red-haired girl was constantly sighing. This girl's name is Su Yanying, a third-year beast tamer student at Phoenix Mountain Academy. Like many others, Su Yanying hoped to achieve great results, but for some reason, she had been forced to face top seeds in both previous rounds, Zhang Shuihan in the first and Ye Hao in the next. Because of that, Su Yanying had lost 2 matches in a row. But it didn't stop there. In this final match, she had to face the last remaining seed, Zhang Xiao. Yet in Su Yanying's hands, right now she only had the 100 Fang, evil tiger left to enter the arena. Meanwhile, the competition requirement is to have at least 2 beast pets, so she rushed to Su Ping's pet shop to pick up the lightning mouse. Upon entering, Su Yanying saw the empty shop and assumed the owner was moving out, making her a bit anxious. "Boss, I'm here to pick up my beast pet," she called out loudly. Hearing the voice, Su Ping walked out. "Boss, I dropped off my lightning mouse half a month ago. Is it doing... Well, I want to pick it up a bit early." "It's healthy. Healthier than it has ever been," Su Ping replied bluntly, then turned his back. "Go over there to pay." Su Yanying was a bit puzzled by Su Ping's reaction. She thought he was worried she wouldn't pay enough because she was picking up the pet early, as per the contract. So she hurried to say, "Boss, don't worry. Even though I'm picking up the lightning mouse early, I'll pay the full amount we previously agreed upon. I won't owe you a single cent." Su Yanying tried to put on the friendliest face possible, but Su Ping's attitude remained very cold. He didn't even bother to respond to her. He walked straight into the back room, picked up the snoring lightning mouse, and looked at it with eyes full of reluctance. "Time to wake up. It's time for you to go home. Now, once you're back with your master, don't forget me." It turned out Su Ping's reaction was because he couldn't bear to part with the mouse after going through thick and thin in the cultivation interface for the past few days, but in the end he still had to return it to Su Yanying. After she paid the money, was automatically converted into energy by the system, and at the same time Su Ping received a new mission called Chaotic Breeding Pool. The mission content requires Su Ping to create a beast pet of his own. The deadline for this mission is 7 days. The reward is a random beast tamer skill book, while the penalty for failure is a deduction of rating points. If the points don't meet the requirements, Su Ping would be logged out of the living server. The system also hinted that he could buy an awakening potion in the shop to become a beast tamer. Su Ping's heart skipped a beat. Thinking about the fact that he could also become a beast tamer, he felt incredibly excited. Su Ping immediately opened the system's shop interface. "According to the system, this is the shop. already existing within his consciousness. From now on, whenever he wants to buy something, he just needs to think about it, and it will appear. The awakening potion was right in the first inventory slot with a price of 100 energy. Su Ping didn't think twice and immediately clicked to buy, but unfortunately, because he didn't have enough energy, he couldn't own it yet. The system explained that energy is primarily converted from the money Su Ping earns at a rate of 100 to 1. The energy he earned today was only 1 point because the bill Su Yanying paid just now was only worth 108 yuan. After reading the balance update notification, Su Ping went absolutely mad. Damn it, I cultivated a beast pet that mastered a legendary ultimate technique, and it was only worth 108. Yuan Dumpty Dit. Afterward, the match between Zhang Xiao and Su Yanying proceeded as usual, and the result was exactly as the spectators expected as Zhang Xiao's. Magic Dragon Dog only needed one move to defeat the 100-fang Evil Tiger of Su Yanying. Amidst the cheering and applause from the audience, Zhang Xiao put on a very smug expression, looking every bit like someone rated as elite talent. Do you still want to fight? This person is a third-year student at Phoenix Mountain Academy with extremely powerful strength. Although Zhang Xiao asked that everyone knew this match, was no longer worth watching. 2 rounds ago, Su Yanying was also considered one of the promising seeds among the contestants. It's just a pity she was so unlucky to meet Tu. The ace up Phoenix Mountain Academy's sleeve. Most of her beast companions have been heavily injured. She has almost no chance of winning. She's been way too weak since the start. Looking at this hopeless situation, she doesn't even think about conserving her own strength, just throwing herself into danger like that. She really has no strategy at all. Someone commented, always acting like an outsider, who never sees things clearly. This match result determines whether she's qualified to join the Pioneer team or not. Of course, even if there's not a sliver of hope left, you still have to give it a shot, right? Someone else chimed in from below the arena. The battle wasn't truly over yet, even though Su Yanying's beast companion had already been slammed to the ground. The audience was waiting for her final decision. Accept defeat, or fight to the bitter end. At this moment, Su Yanying was extremely tense. Even she didn't understand why her thousand-tooth evil tiger failed so quickly. But now wasn't the time to dig for answers, because on the other side, Zhang Xiao's demon dragon hound was attacking again. This time it was the Fire Dragon Blaze technique. Even though it wasn't at full power, it was enough to completely crush that thousand-tooth evil tiger, which hadn't even managed to recover yet. Seeing the raging Fire Dragon Blaze rushing towards her, Su Yanying squeezed her eyes shut and shouted at the top of her lungs, "I forfeit!" Boom! The entire arena shook violently. Because of that last attack from Zhang Xiao, the referee had just stepped in to intercept the Fire Dragon Blaze and simultaneously declared that Su Yanying had surrendered. It's strange. Even though he won, a trace of unwillingness flashed across Zhang Xiao's face. Just a little bit more, he thought to himself. Consider yourself lucky, just wait until the next match. Following that, Su Yanying was extremely frustrated. Now the only one she could send out was the Thunderlight Mouse. But that little mouse, it's tiny, and ever since it returned from that pet shop, it only ate junk food. This made Su Yanying suspicious that Su Ping had ruined it during the care process. In its current state, she really didn't want to send it onto the arena. Even the thousand-tooth evil tiger had been defeated. How? Could she send that tiny mouse out? Ladies and gentlemen, according to the tournament rules, Su Yanying only has the Thunderlight Mouse left that can fight. The MC's voice rang out again. Su Yanying bit her lip hard. Do I really have to send this mouse into the ring? Even though she had mastered the Tier 3 Beastmaster Strength Enhancement technique, it could only temporarily boost the Thunderlight Mouse's Tier 1 combat power to Tier 3. Meanwhile, Zhang Xiao's Demon Dragon Hound had long since reached Tier 3. Everyone assumed this would definitely be a one-sided stomp, an overwhelming one-sided affair. Haha, Su Yanying, don't be scared. Just give it a try, who knows? Zhang Xiao's dog might just eat that mouse. Jeering began to echo from the stands, but these were just provocations. Despite being goaded like that, she still kept a shred of her composure. Su Yanying wanted to protect the Thunderlight Mouse. It wasn't worth it for it to risk its life, and so she raised her hand with difficulty. But before she could even utter the words, "I forfeit," the Thunderlight Mouse suddenly puffed up its fur and lunged forward. In this situation, everyone assumed Su Yanying had accepted the challenge, and the match started immediately. Just now, Su Yanying hadn't given any orders to her beast at all. It was just the Thunderlight Mouse, acting on its own willpower, refusing to let its master be humiliated like that. She was stunned, while Zhang Xiao on the other side looked quite gleeful. He still wanted to trample over someone weaker like Su Yanying to satisfy his own competitiveness. Zhang Xiao immediately ordered his demon dragon hound to strike and incinerate the Thunderlight Mouse. However, on the other side, that tiny little mouse was entering a state of fierce counter-resistance. Thunderlight Mouse quickly used Thunder Dash to dodge the attack. Su Yanying suddenly shouted, interrupting the mouse's own move execution. That was because she didn't know Su Ping had trained it to awaken all 10 great secret skills. So this time, Su Yanying accidentally sabotaged her own beast. The counterattack was interrupted, and the Thunderlight Mouse was a beat too slow with its Thunder Dash. Finally, it was still hit by the Demon Dragon Hound's attack and ended up lying belly up on the ground. Everyone thought the match would end right there, but Zhang Xiao didn't want to finish it. So quickly. He ordered his Demon Dragon Hound to slowly tear the opponent apart. Following that command, his beast lunged forward, preparing for a close-range attack. Facing that situation, Su Yanying hurriedly used her Tier 3 Strength Enhancement skill to temporarily level up the Thunderlight Mouse, then she asked it to use Thunder Dash to dodge the blow. And this time, the mouse actually dodged it. Next, the Thunderlight Mouse found a pretty good landing spot, and seizing this opportunity, Su Yanying immediately signaled E for it to counterattack. The red-haired girl in the stands who had just been trash-talking Su Yanying sat up straight immediately, eyes glued to that tiny little mouse because if she wasn't mistaken, the attack it was unleashing was a Tier 7 lightning attribute move. This move even pierced through the protective barrier that the referee had set up to protect the audience. And Zhang Xiao's Demon Dragon Hound, of course, couldn't avoid it either. The big shots present in the stands couldn't hide, and their excitement when they saw this. A Tier 1 Thunderlight Mouse that could actually use a Tier 7 lightning skill. What a promising youngster. When the shockwave of this skill faded, the Demon Dragon Hound was already lying flat, on the ground. Zhang Xiao fell backward, his face deathly pale, his mouth muttering incessantly, "Impossible." The entire scene fell into silence until the MC shouted loudly, "It's Thunderstrike Su Yanying's Thunderlight Mouse. It actually mastered a Tier 7 skill. This is truly unbelievable. Let's congratulate the winner of this match, Su Yanying." The audience was silent for a few seconds before directly erupting. The fact that the Thunderlight Mouse could actually master a Tier 7 skill is truly an earth-shattering event. Even Su Yanying didn't understand what had just happened and why the Thunderlight Mouse could be so strong. Seeing it perform like this when just days ago it was nothing more than a cute pet with zero utility? A sudden thought struck her. Could it be that this store is why the Lightning Mouse changed so much? Thinking this, Su Yanying was both shocked and thrilled, wondering, did I hit the jackpot? Did I successfully pick a grooming shop where the owner is some kind of hidden legendary master? Meanwhile, Su Ping was still back at the shop busy scooping up dog poop from those little freeloaders when he suddenly let out a few sneezes. No idea who was talking about him. Back at the arena, the commentator's voice reached an all-time high, shouting that this battle would definitely go down in the Academy's history. How could a level 1 pet master a level 7 skill? This was unprecedented at Fengshan Academy, and honestly, even in the entire Longjiang City there had never been a precedent. The spectators today were incredibly lucky to witness such a miracle. Zhang Xiao, having lost, made no secret of his bitterness. He glared at Su Yanying and the Lightning Mouse with pure venom, thinking he should have seen this coming. This match was too important. How could she let a useless creature cost him the win? Before he could even regain his composure, the MC announced that the match was now tied, 1-1. Both competitors had to prepare for the final life-or-death round. Everyone was waiting to see if Zhang Xiao could find a way to take down that mutant Lightning Mouse, or if Su Yanying would claim victory once again. Su Yanying, you're pretty good, but that's as far as you go. Zhang Xiao gritted his teeth, recalled his magic dragon hound into its space, and summoned a much more formidable creature, the rock rhinoceros. The moment she saw it, Su Yanying broke out in a cold sweat. This was bad. It was an Earth-type pet that Zhang Xiao had never used before. This must be his trump card. Holy cow, that's Zhang Xiao's level 4 Earth-type pet. The MC couldn't help but shout. A 3-level gap plus the elemental disadvantage. This doesn't look good for the lightning mouse. The lightning mouse, which had been in Su Yanying's arms, leaped out the moment it saw the rock rhinoceros. It stood ready to fight, showing no signs of fear whatsoever. This really excited the audience. Judging by Zhang Xiao's expression, he was clearly bringing out his full power now. Yet that little lightning mouse wasn't shaking at all. Interesting, but I think the result of this match is already clear, the muscle-bound guy commented again. As long as its bloodline isn't suppressed or elements don't clash, it should win, but if a level 1 pet can pull off a level 7 skill and still be ready for more plus that fighting spirit, I don't think it has even shown its full potential yet. That was the red-haired girl's take. As soon as the match started, Zhang Xiao rushed to use all his skills to buff his pet, boosting both its strength and combat awareness. The rock rhinoceros was significantly stronger now, at least on par with a level 5 pet. Su Yanying was pushed back by the rhinoceros's immense pressure. After a few seconds of dazed shock, she remembered she needed to use skills to buff the lightning mouse, but the little guy was already impatiently lunging forward. The distance between master and pet was too great, so Su Yanying couldn't use her buffing skills. Watching the lightning mouse charge toward the rock rhinoceros, Su Yanying's heart felt like it was hanging by a thread. Everyone assumed she'd made a grave mistake by letting it fight the rhinoceros head-on without any buffs. "You damn rat! Let my rock rhinoceros crush you into a pancake," Zhang Xiao snarled. Under his command, the rhinoceros raised its heavy leg and stomped down hard. Everyone thought the lightning mouse would be flattened like a piece of ham in a sandwich. But then something unbelievable happened. The lightning mouse turned into 2 streaks of lightning, dodging the stomp from the sides. "A lightning mirage!" The crowd gasped in shock. How could this be? The reason they were so stunned was that the lightning mirage was another level 7 skill. This time, they didn't think Su Yanying was just lucky. Instead, they were already plotting how to recruit her into their squads. Down in the arena, after using the lightning mirage to dodge the mouse, didn't rush to attack the rhinoceros. Instead, it slipped past it and bolted straight for Zhang Xiao in the back. None of this was directed by Su Yanying. It was spontaneous behavior from the mouse following the lessons Su Ping drilled into it. Once you attack, go for the enemy's blind spot. Once on the field size, up the weak link, and prioritize taking them out to cripple the opponent's strength. Zhang Xiao didn't anticipate this move. Seeing the mouse charging at him ferociously, he quickly activated his level 3 spirit shield. But what could a level 3 skill do against the lightning mouse's level 7? Lightning flash. His shield shattered instantly before it even fully manifested. The entire arena shook from the impact and the ground. It caved in, creating a massive crater. Everyone held their breath, wondering if Zhang Xiao had made it out safe. The answer was no, as they saw the referee Feng Shun intervene. He used a high-level skill to pluck Zhang Xiao into the air while the guy himself seemed to have lost Maru's consciousness. Naturally, that meant Su Yanying had won the match, officially eliminating the tournament's top seed and passing the qualifiers. The crowd, which had been rooting for Zhang Xiao, was now chanting Su Yanying's name in unison. This overwhelming enthusiasm was a bit much for her, even though she'd won Su Yanying and still felt like she was in a dream. How did her lightning mouse learn 2 level 7 skills? After seeing it use the lightning mirage, she was more certain than ever that this shocking result was all thanks to that pet shop. The owner was truly an unfathomable master. Meanwhile, at Su Ping's place, he had no clue about the match. The earth-shattering battle of the lightning rat, which I trained myself, is now completely eclipsed in Su Ping's mind by the headache of needing to earn 10,000 yuan within 7 days. Relying solely on pet boarding services to complete this monetary goal is absolutely impossible. He wanted to find another way, but the system currently only allows the shop to serve customers through 3 types of services: boarding, renting, and selling supplies. For the first service, the shop is currently only boarding 2 pets, but both are trash tire, so it can only charge a boarding fee of 10 energy points per hour. As for the second service, renting pets, but right now Su Ping doesn't have any pets to rent, so it's not viable. Finally, selling supplies is the last resort he can choose, but Su Ping must personally go to the cultivation area to collect them. Then, based on the quality of the supplies, the system sets the price. Are pet supplies only obtainable in the entire cultivation area or only in dangerous places like the Thundercloud Sea Realm? Su Ping asked. The system replied that the entire cultivation area has them. The Thundercloud Sea Realm is just one of countless high-level cultivation areas. Furthermore, the higher the grade of the area, the higher the chance of collecting rare supplies. The system explained this, and then Su Ping discovered another painful fact: this cultivation mission. It had been issued 3 days ago, and he had spent all those 3 days solely focused on training the lightning rat, wasting the opportunity to collect supplies in high-level cultivation areas. 3 days gone just like that. This can't keep going on. Su Ping has made up his mind. Within these 3 days, he must become a battle pet master. Thinking of this, Su Ping anxiously asks the system to show him the list of cultivation areas. Before him, many areas appeared divided into levels: apex level, which requires 1,000 energy points, advanced level requiring 100 energy points, intermediate level requiring 10 energy points, and the lowest primary level requiring 1 energy point. Although right now, there are countless choices, Su Ping's remaining energy points are only a mere 1, so he can only go to the lowest level cultivation area. Su Ping couldn't stop regretting the last time he took the lightning rat for an upgrade. If he had just picked a random herb, he wouldn't be in this miserable state right now. A qualified store owner must be self-disciplined enough to collect everything related to pets. The system coldly criticized him, then quickly mapped out the most suitable area for Su Ping, named Outer Nebula Region Area, 1,102. Although criticized by the system, Su Ping didn't feel sad. On the contrary, he suddenly had an epiphany, vowing that from now on he must not miss any opportunity. To upgrade his pet, he was quickly connected to the Outer Nebula Region Area, 1,102. After landing there, the system issued Su Ping a novice cube space, inside of which there are 3 uses of the ancient herb appraisal skill, which can be retrieved at will through intent. The time for searching for items this time lasts 1 day, and Su Ping has 30 free deaths. Curious, he immediately tried to retrieve the ancient herb appraisal skill using his intent. The moment the skill scroll touched Su Ping's hand, it vanished, then turned into a glow that went straight into his left eye. All information about the herbs in front of Su Ping became clear. For example, the rock flower, which has low rarity and mild healing effects for rock-type pets, or the thistlegrass used to create bedding for low-level pets. The phoenix wood, which helps restore a bit of stamina for pets after eating its fruit. These were all low-level recovery herbs with common rarity. This made Su Ping hide no frustration. However, after walking for a while, he finally found something a bit more valuable: the rock pearl fruit, which has rare rarity and the ability to increase fire-type damage skills. This is a type of plant that fire-type pets love to eat the most, but this rock pearl fruit plant was being approached by a earth-type rock snake. Its level is not over 8 combat power, only 8.1. Points rated by the system as poor quality, with skills like Constrict Swallow, Earth Lightning Blast, and Earth Shield. Su Ping has no pets to fight. But he didn't need to think much, rushing in directly. Naturally, valuable herbs live in the most dangerous places, and the system's storage space for him also has a limit. So he should only pick the most expensive ones. Su Ping rushed past. That rock snake snatched the rock pearl fruit just as it was about to enter its mouth. Right there. He managed to store the rock pearl fruit in his storage space, then got bitten by that beast, costing him 1 resurrection immediately. However, to get these few expensive plants, even if he died many times, it was worth it. Just like that, Su Ping roamed the map empty-handed for 30 times. After he used up all 30 resurrections, the challenge time ended and the system removed him from the cultivation area. Su Ping returned to his reality, gasping for air. 30 resurrections in 1 day was indeed a bit exhausting. However, looking at the pile of herbal plants that he had picked in the Outer Nebula Region Area, 1,102, he felt that this trade-off was truly worth it. Next, let's go sell them. The first customer for Su Ping was a relatively wealthy family. The pet of this old man had not eaten or drunk for a week, making him extremely worried. His grandchildren, wanting to share his sorrow, had also gone to find the most expensive pet food on the market, so that the bird could regain its appetite. This grandson is also a member of the Black Wolf battle team named Pham Ngok Kin. Old man Pham Ngok Kin's pet had just smelled the things he brought and hurriedly knocked over all the food in front of it, then lunged forward. However, when they gave it the first bite, this pet painfully vomited black blood. Their house became anxious again. Brother, even the underworld skyfoot bug, which Little Fire used to eat it, won't touch anymore. What should we do now? Pham Ngok Kin's younger sister anxiously said, "Hurry up and contact the highest level pet hospital in the city. This condition of Little Fire is caused by a heart-devouring parasite. We can't delay anymore. If we're late, it's going to die." Their grandfather seemed even more anxious as he hugged the bird to his chest and kept urging his grandchildren to hurry and invite a doctor. Right at this moment, his wife entered with a very happy expression. "Old Pham, our Little Fire is saved." In her hand was something like a medicinal pill. However, just as she spoke, this she was blocked by her granddaughter. "Grandma, Little Fire is sick. We have to go to the city for a checkup right now, or it won't be in time." "What kind of sickness?" Grandma Pham asked blankly. The granddaughter hadn't even had time to reply when the main character lying withered in Old Man Pham's arms suddenly shrieked, then lunged, snatched the pill from Grandma Pham's hand and swallowed it whole. Unlike when, this time not only did it not vomit black blood, but its spirit seemed much more refreshed. The elderly couple was overjoyed. It was just as he had said. "That shopkeeper said," the grandmother muttered, repeating what Su Ping had said earlier. "The spirit-cleansing fruit is purely nourishing. If the pet consumes food with overly complex properties, it will lose its appetite at best or vomit blood at worst. Just feed it the rock spirit fruit on time and its condition will improve. If it doesn't get better, come find me again." The granddaughter listened, then skeptically looked at the box containing the netherworld heavenfoot insect in her hand. Then she asked her brother, "Brother, did we really feed Little Hua the wrong pet food?" "Don't believe what that shopkeeper said," Pham Ngok Kin retorted. "Pet food even has properties. I've never heard of such a thing." He then turned to his grandmother and asked how much she paid for these rock spirit fruits. 130 yuan per piece, the grandmother replied. "What, 130 yuan each? This box has 12 pieces, that's over 1,500 yuan. This isn't even the city! Where would there be pet food that expensive? That shop must be a scam." The granddaughter's expression turned serious because she had heard of scam shops that mix special chemicals into pet food to make it smell better, tricking pets into craving it. Once they stop eating it, they go crazy and eventually become addicted. If used long-term, the pet will eventually die. The grandfather heard this, and his expression turned to shock. Pham Ngok Kin was even more anxious, hurriedly grabbing his grandmother's shoulder. "Grandma, where is this shop? What's it called? I have to go find him and get to the bottom of this." "Grandmother." Pham was confused for a long time before remembering, "I think it's called the Mischievous Pet Shop." After that, the two Pham siblings quickly tracked down Su Ping's shop. Pham Ngok Kin didn't even care about the situation and started shouting at the door, calling Su Ping a crooked merchant and a scammer, forcing him to confess what he had mixed into the pet food. Although they had never met, the mention of pet food immediately brought the grandmother's face to Su Ping's mind, because since returning from the nurturing area, he had only sold one batch of rock spirit fruits. "Customer, the pet food sold at my shop is all purely natural with no additives whatsoever. After that insect consumed the rock spirit fruit, did it have a bad reaction?" "You didn't add anything, are you sure?" Pham Ngok Kin was even more aggressive. "If the goods you sell are fine, why does my pet, which has been lacking appetite, keep wanting to eat non-stop? You'd better come clean." Pham Ngok Kin's loud voice attracted quite a few onlookers passing by. They started whispering to each other, saying, "I've thought Su Ping's shop was suspicious for a long time. Just a few days ago, the whole place smelled like dog feces, and now it's suddenly shockingly clean and selling expensive pet food, and the key is the items he sells are things we've never heard of before." That's why they unanimously agreed that the shopkeeper was a cold-hearted snake, mixing stimulants into food to kill people's precious pets. Outside, they were whispering and gossiping, while inside, the Pham siblings were still having a heated argument with Su Ping. "Brother, let's stop talking to him. Call your friends." at the Pet Food Association to come and investigate this shady shop, the younger sister suggested. Su Ping, who had been sitting calmly at the counter, suddenly stood up. At the mention of shady shop, his face darkening as he asked, "You dare call this a shady shop? Don't accuse others without proof. If you have any, feel free to show it." Pham Ngoc Kin's younger sister was startled back by Su Ping's presence, extremely shocked, not knowing why Su Ping suddenly became so imposing and powerful. In short, it was intimidating. Pham Ngoc Kin saw this and lunged forward. "You dare touch my sister? Are you tired of living?" With a physically overwhelming build, he aggressively grabbed Su Ping by the throat. Yet he didn't even bother to resist. Suddenly, a massive force exerted pressure on Pham Ngoc Kin's hand, making his fingers look as if they were being crushed and deformed. He was in immense pain. For Su Ping, the current situation had reached a climax, triggering the system to issue a temporary quest. His pet shop was being slandered, unjustly. And Su Ping's mission was to prove the shop's innocence, to show that the pet food he sold had no issues, in order to preserve his reputation. The reward, if the mission it succeeds, is one chance to enter a nurturing area of any level with infinite deaths and a duration of 5 days. The penalty if the mission fails is that Su Ping will be deducted 10 points. Not to mention the attractive reward. The penalty alone was enough to make Su Ping have to clear up the situation immediately. Otherwise, he would not only lose points, but also affect future customers. So despite being very angry, Su Ping forced himself to calm down and spoke up. "Everyone stop the noise. I guarantee that the pet food at this shop is completely safe. If you all suspect the shop this much, then I have no choice but to show you my skills." From the crowd came a few mocking laughs. "Ha! Demanding to show his skills, finally showing his true colors, huh? You crooked shop. That's right. Use this time to close down and reflect on yourself." They started shouting loudly, demanding Su Ping close the shop, giving him a massive headache. Finally, Su Ping couldn't take it anymore and shouted, "Silence!" It seemed the pressure he created was so great that the crowd actually fell silent. No one dared to make a sound. After that, Su Ping took a jar filled with blue essence fruit from the shelf and asked, "Does anyone have a low-level water-type pet?" Coincidentally, Pham Ngoc Kin's younger sister owned a pet that fit this requirement. Under Su Ping's urging, she reluctantly summoned it. It was a level 1 water-spraying beast with very low combat power and poor aptitude. Its only skills were water jet and purifying bubble. Su Ping walked over with a blue essence fruit. Pham Ngoc Kin still thought. He wanted to poison his pet, so he anxiously tried to block the way. But Su Ping didn't even pay him any mind. He squatted down to be eye level with the water-spraying beast. "This is a blue essence fruit. Whether it's low-quality food or not, just feed it and you'll know." Saying that, Su Ping reached out toward the beast. It immediately chomped down on the blue essence fruit in his hand. The crowd gathered around to watch, whispering among themselves again, "What is a blue essence fruit? Has anyone ever heard of it? No. Just feed it and you'll see." Saying that, Su Ping reached out toward the water-spitting pet. It immediately chomped down on the azure origin fruit in his hand. The onlookers started whispering again. "What's an azure origin fruit? Has anyone ever heard of that?" "No. It looks like that blueberry stuff from the pet store, but that's just a laxative for pets." The water-spitting beast started acting strange shortly after eating the blue fruit, and Pham Ngoc Kin was panicking, thinking something went wrong. But when a dazzling blue light burst from the beast, their jaws dropped. That weak creature had actually leveled up to rank 2, and its combat power had jumped too. From rank 1 to rank 1 intermediate. Tu Bin exhaled, having used his appraisal skill on that blue fruit earlier. He knew it could help low-level water-type pets level up, but seeing it with his own eyes, it seems the rumors were true. Though the water-spitting beast only gained 1 level of combat power, its potential is truly worrying. When a pet levels up, it gets a small combat power boost. The smaller the boost, the lower the potential. The higher the boost, the better the potential. Pet bloodlines are also ranked. A bloodline rank determines how much base combat power a pet can reach naturally as it matures. For example, a water-spitting beast with a rank 3 bloodline will naturally reach rank 3 combat power upon reaching adulthood, even without special training. However, to push its combat power further, you have to train it. The crowd gathered around stared at the newly leveled-up beast. Everyone was stunned, eyes wide. "It actually leveled up. Is leveling up that easy now?" Pham Ngoc Kin was left speechless. He was reeling from the shock. Based on the beast's appearance, he was sure it had leveled up successfully. But from what he knew, treasures that could boost pet levels only ever appeared in the federal reclamation vaults. If Tabin really owned such things, his background must be terrifying. It really leveled up? His sister scooped up her pet and glared at Tabin. "You didn't switch my pet, did you?" Tabin looked annoyed, but before he could answer, Pham Ngoc Kin rushed over, pressed his sister's head down in a 90-degree bow and apologized frantically. "I'm sorry we were blind and offended you. Please forgive us." Tabin stayed silent for a few seconds, then coldly replied, 8,700 credits per pill. Fixed price. I don't pick my customers." "Understood." Pham Ngoc Kin quickly replied, then urged his sister to pay up. A treasure that can level up a pet for just 8,700 credits, that was a steal. Not only did Pham Ngoc Kin think so, but even Tabin felt that selling these herbs, which he risked his life to gather at such a price, was a huge loss. However, after several requests to the system to raise the price, he was flatly refused, with the excuse that this pricing, it was reasonable and non-negotiable. Tabin let out a long sigh and had to coax the siblings into buying more herbs to make more money. "Your sister's pet has too low potential. It needs the 7-colored Buddha heart to improve. Also, the ice-spitting toad needs the rockberry long-term to fully recover. I suggest you all buy more." Of course, while he wanted to make money, what Tabin said was true. It sounded so logical that Pham Ngoc Kin kept nodding like a woodpecker. He urged his sister to pay up. The people behind them, seeing this, were struck by FOMO and wanted to buy too. After all, if it could really help their pets level up, the price wasn't high at all. And so, that very day, Tabin's store, which had been suffering from a bad reputation, suddenly became as busy as a fish market. After a long, tiring day, he had earned 31,560 Ballsy credits. The system automatically converted this into 315 energy points. Plus, for completing the task of temporarily clearing his store's name, Tabin was rewarded with 1 free entry into a training area of any level for 5 days. However, he didn't rush to think about that because Tabin now had enough money to buy the awakening fluid. He quickly opened the store, spent 100 energy points to exchange for that tiny bottle, and then chugged it down in one go. The liquid tasted like water, but the moment he finished, Tabin felt an indescribable sensation. His whole body felt like it was about to explode. Though it passed quickly, it was quite an intense feeling. And now he had officially become a battle pet warrior. Right at that moment, a fly buzzed by, and to his surprise, Tabin snatched it out of the air with his bare hand. It seemed his reaction speed as a battle pet warrior was far superior, to that of a normal person. The system checked that Tabin still had 215 energy points left and suggested he upgrade the Chaos Breeding Pool. The Chaos Breeding Pool. Level 1 costs 10 energy points per use. It has a high failure rate and a small chance to produce low-level bloodline pets and an extremely small chance to produce a medium-level bloodline pet. Meanwhile, the Level 2 Chaos Breeding Pool costs 100 energy points but also has a failure rate, though it's lower. Besides that, it has a chance to produce low-level, medium-level, and an extremely small chance to produce a high-level bloodline pet. Tabin read it and immediately knew which one to pick. Why would he choose Level 1 just to save 90 points when at best, he'd only have a chance at a medium-level pet? So, Tabin spent 100 points for the system to create the Level 2 Chaos Breeding Pool. It's sink or swim time. Tabin took a deep breath, then pressed the breeding button, while secretly hoping that on his first try he could create a pet with a high-level bloodline. Boom! A beam of light shot down from the sky. The Chaos Breeding Pool was engulfed in thick smoke. His senses were temporarily dulled, which only heightened Tabin's curiosity. It succeeded. What kind of pet would he summon? Tabin held his breath and waited. But the thing that appeared before him was a little skeleton. It was just a demon-type pet with poor potential, and it was the lowest-tier creature in the demon category. Perhaps only a loser would be forced to carry one around. Tabin was so angry, he couldn't speak. He spent 100 energy points to get this thing. His luck was terrible. The quest to summon your first pet was completed, And to Bin received a reward, a random Battle Pet Warrior skill book. He opened it. Primary skill, Bloodlust. Consumes a certain amount of mental energy to trigger the Heart of Slaughter in a pet entering a berserk state. It allows the pet to continue attacking fiercely even when severely wounded. Bin fell into deep thought. In the world of cultivation, powerful experts are as numerous as the clouds. Opening it reveals the primary skill, Bloodlust. It consumes a certain amount of mental energy to awaken a pet's killing intent, entering a berserker state that allows the pet to maintain even more intense attacks than normal, even while heavily wounded. Su Ping fell into deep thought. In the world of high-level training, powerful experts are as numerous as clouds. With basic attribute skills, I'm just afraid it's hard to avoid being wiped out in one hit. Luckily, this killing intent skill is perfect for those David versus Goliath style fights. Well, it doesn't seem like a bad deal after all. I guess I shouldn't be so harsh on that little skeleton for now. Suddenly, the system checked and saw that Su Ping met the requirements for the next main quest. This time, the objective is to nurture a personal pet. Raise it to an intermediate superior aptitude within 7 days. The reward is chaotic star power, but the penalty for failure is a deduction of 10 intermediate superior aptitude points. Intermediate superior. Su Ping's jaw dropped. He couldn't believe his eyes. This system really loves to play games with him, that Thunder Mouse. Has such freakish attributes, and its aptitude is only at an intermediate low level. But this little skeleton, its aptitude is so poor it's not even low level anymore. This mission is impossible. It's like asking me to turn a pile of trash into a pile of gold, unlike its master, the mindless little skeleton. Actually seems quite happy. Su Ping finally realized one good thing about it. It's pretty entertaining. Just then, Su Ping heard someone calling him, and the voice sounded quite familiar. Boss, are you here? It was Su Yanjing. This time, she brought the Thunder Mouse back to the shop, and another girl. Su Ping opened the door and stepped out. As soon as he saw Su Yanjing, he wore an obviously disappointed look. Why is it you again? $108. What do you want? My name is Su Yanjing, not $108. Su Yanjing suddenly leaned in close to Su Ping, then asked sharply, But the point is, boss, the way the Thunder Mouse acted yesterday was completely different from before. Did you do something to it? That was all. Su Ping broke into a cold sweat. He actually thought his pet care had caused some issue, and the customer was here to complain again, so he shook his head firmly and said he didn't do anything other than taking it for a little walk and exercise. Of course, he didn't mention taking it for a walk in the training area. Right, little guy, Su Ping said, turning to the mouse. Even though he spoke very gently, it made the mouse jump in fright, looking completely terrified. Su Yanjing observed Su Ping's attitude and her pet's reaction, not missing a single second. His admission of taking it out for a bit of exercise was practically confirming he had trained it. Plus, this mouse didn't even fear the level 4 ghost dragon dog in the arena yesterday. Yet now it was trembling in front of Su Ping. This made her even more suspicious of Su Ping's true strength. Yanjing, look. This boss doesn't look special at all. The shop is small and lacks any aura. Are you sure we didn't go to the wrong place? The girl beside her whispered. Su Yanjing hurriedly signaled for her to be quiet, then whispered back even more softly, I can't explain it right now. But in short, this boss is very likely a level 7 expert. Don't provoke him or our lives might be at risk. How could you tell? The other girl was confused but listened to her friend and kept quiet. Meanwhile, Su Ping, whom Su Yanjing had just identified as at least a level 7 battle pet warrior, had actually only become a level 1 battle pet warrior a few minutes ago. He petted the Thunder Mouse for a while, but the system didn't issue any temporary quests. It seemed this wasn't really related to the pet. Seeing the two girls whispering, he grew impatient and had to speak up first. What's wrong? Are you here to complain that I charged too much? It was meant to be a normal question, but through Su Yanjing's expert-gazing lens, Su Ping's question felt full of killing intent, turning it into a threat. And thinking about it, the Thunder Mouse was nurtured to be so powerful, so paying only $108 yesterday was indeed unfair. Su Yanjing, projecting her own thoughts, assumed Su Ping was testing her sincerity, so she hurriedly transferred another $1,000 to him. Here is a little token of my appreciation. Please don't refuse it. But Su Ping refused the transfer. Cold sweat started pouring down Su Yanjing's head. She thought he felt that 1,000 was too little, so she boldly transferred 5,000 more. But this time, it was again refused by the other party. Su Yanjing's face turned dark. She couldn't help but blurt out, "Is it still not enough? What are you doing?" Constantly transferring money." The friend beside her was confused. Nian, help me out. This matter is very important to me," Su Yanjing pleaded. The friend immediately understood the situation and transferred money to her. To Su Yanjing, getting to know a hidden expert like Su Ping was a rare opportunity. If you don't bait the hook, how can you catch the big fish? So she didn't mind spending money for this situation. After borrowing money from her friend, Su Yanjing transferred 10,000 bucks directly to Su Ping's shop. But this time, it was still refused. Furthermore, Su Ping's expression grew more and more displeased. Su Yanjing refused to give up. She wanted to cling to the master's leg at all costs, so she transferred 100,000 bucks. Su Ping was overjoyed to see money falling into his lap. He really wanted to accept this payment. But when he pressed accept, the system blocked him, stating he was forbidden from accepting payments exceeding the shop's pricing structure because the shop's valuation was bound to the system and could not be altered. And so Su Yanjing was rejected for the 4th time. This time, and she was really about to cry. "We were blind. Whatever price you want, just name it, master." Su Ping was red with anger. He regretted losing that money, but he had to keep up a dignified facade. "Don't do this anymore. It's really not necessary. If you have something to say, just say it." Su Yanjing was moved to tears by his words. She didn't expect that Su Ping wouldn't want anything at all. In this world, there are still people who are young, capable, and yet so indifferent to fame and wealth. Since Su Ping had said so, Su Yanjing didn't hide it anymore. She told him that she had to participate in a competition in 3 days, but all her other pets were severely injured, so her last hope was this Thunder Mouse. Because of that, Su Yanjing wanted to entrust it to Su Ping so he could nurture it for 3 more days. The opportunity came so coincidentally with the Thunder Mouse back in the shop leveling up. The little skeleton would be much simpler. Su Ping wore a happy expression, and just then the system sent a new notification: customer request detected. She said that in 3 days she has to compete, but all her remaining pets are severely injured. So the last hope is placed on this lightning rat. That's why Su Yanjing wants to entrust it to Su Ping, hoping he can train it for another 3 days. This chance came so unexpectedly, with the lightning rat back in the shop leveling up. The little skeleton will be much easier. Su Ping put on a cheerful face, and just then the system sent a new notification, detected a customer with a need. The pet training service is opening early. As the host, you can refer to the pricing table below to accept orders. The specific costs for training are as follows. Training pets from level 1 to level 3 costs 10,000 yuan. Pets from level 4 to level 6 cost 100,000 yuan. Pets from level 7 to level 9 cost 1 million yuan. And at the highest level, the king beast, the training cost is up to 10 million yuan. Su Ping's eyes widened. He never thought pet training could make so much money. However, for now, he can only accept orders level 3 and below. So let's start with this lightning rat. Su Ping informed Su Yanjing that the 3-day pet training fee at his shop is 10,000 yuan. This price isn't exactly cheap, but if it can train the lightning rat to be as good as it was in the match the other day, it's worth it. Plus, with Su Ping's training skills, it's not expensive at all. Su Yanjing didn't think twice and immediately agreed. The transaction was quickly effective, and Su Ping received 10,000 yuan into the shop's account. The system converted it into 100 energy points. Besides training, is there any other service you need? I also offer boarding, and I can even provide healing, Su Ping added. Su Yanjing's eyes lit up instantly. She didn't think that boarding a pet here could also include healing. It's much better than the Astral Pet Hospital, which is far away and expensive. She nodded repeatedly and then brought out all her injured astral pets, which immediately startled Su Ping. Su Yanjing brought a total of 3 pets to board, but just when Su Ping was about to accept the order, the system gave a new notification. Detected a customer's request for boarding. To prevent affecting the shop's reputation, it is recommended that the host quickly upgrade the slots. Boarding. What kind of reputation hit? Su Ping thought to himself. The initial free boarding slots were made of waste spirit stones with very weak internal spirit energy and complex dirty radiation. Turbulence. Even if they contribute a tiny bit to a pet's growth, there is a high chance of causing mutations. Su Ping gritted his teeth in anger. He had just made a little money and this system was already finding ways to fleece him. Since that's the case, then I'll just buy 3 more boarding slots. As soon as he completed the transaction, another notification arrived, 3 new boarding slots plus 2 replacing the old ones, costing a total of 50 Ban Yuan. The boarding cost is 100 yuan per hour. Level 2 boarding slots ensure pets won't mutate, but each slot costs 1 energy point per day, which Su Ping has to pay for himself. If the energy points can't sustain this process, the boarding slots will vanish. Su Ping was so angry he could spit blood. This reaction of his made Su Yanying anxious. "Boss, are you okay?" "I'm fine." Su Ping tried to regain his composure. 3 pets for 3 days. The total fee is 21,600 yuan. Please transfer the payment first. Su Yanying nodded repeatedly, thinking to herself that this boss was really strange, but she didn't dare to delay. After receiving the payment, the system quickly converted it into energy points for Su Ping. The total points he has now are 291. Right now, the shop is holding 5 pets, all using level 2 boarding slots, costing him 1 point each per day. After accepting these burdens, Su Ping also triggered a subquest. The requirement is to double the combat strength of the client's pets within 3 days. The reward is 3 beginner origin force pills. Failure will deduct 10 points. Below are the terms. Do you accept? This shows Su Ping has the right to refuse the quest this time. He stood in front of the status window for a long time. Thinking carefully, Su Ping currently needs to train the little skeleton's aptitude to middle grade advanced, which means increasing it from level 1 to level 7 if compared to training that lightning rat. Up to level 7, it's even easier. However, he is a person who loves a challenge, so in the end, he decided to accept this subquest and bring trouble upon himself. Su Ping thought, "I'll use the one-time opportunity to enter the random training area." A series of places appeared for him to choose from. The final decision for Su Ping's little skeleton to train was the chaotic, undead realm. Without hesitation, he pressed his hand on the screen. He didn't notice the tentacles appearing under his feet as he entered. Blood-red tentacles wrapped around everything. The smell of fresh blood was overwhelming. A blood-colored moon hung in the sky. The shore was filled with human bones, and the death energy was pungent. The smell made him and his pets lethargic. Looking behind, "Ugh, the deathly aura is so heavy, you can't do anything here." Suddenly a corpse stepped on the little skeleton, making it crumble. The little skeleton's bones shattered, leading to death. A giant skeleton held a staff and smashed it straight at him. "Enemy!" The little skeleton resurrected. The lightning rat tried to use it. It swung the staff and smashed it with a powerful blow that shook the ground. It missed the target, making it furious. Hiss! In the distance, Su Ping smirked. The little skeleton recovered. The lightning rat attacked. It looked at the skeleton and Su Ping taunted. "So the top-tier training area isn't all King Beast-level monsters." The monster attacking him was a giant skeleton, a pet of the demon-type combat type. Level 7. Combat strength level 5. Poor aptitude. Skills bone reattachment. Fracture. Destroy. Roar war. The little skeleton's bones shattered, leading to death. Su Ping worriedly ordered the little skeleton to resurrect. The lightning rat tried to use Thunder Slash. Receiving the command, it began to discharge electricity. Chit! The lightning was scared. The lightning strike didn't do much. Su Ping shouted, "Sword of Thunder, appear! Don't let it release!" He swung the sword and touched, bashed it, cutting off its arm quickly. The slash landed straight on the giant skeleton's arm. It screamed in pain. A blow from it sent the lightning rat vomiting blood. The lightning rat died due to internal organ damage. As if by magic, smoke appeared on its arm as the bone fragments from the slashes retracted. The debris was gathering back to its arm. It relied on the jewel on its head to gather bones on the ground to recover. Seeing how the jewel worked, Su Ping was delighted. That gemstone makes the bone reattachment skill stronger. It seems to be a treasure. Once again, he ordered the lightning rat and little skeleton to resurrect. Afraid of what happened before, the two of them hugged his legs tightly. Looking at them, Su Ping sighed in frustration. His hand moved in a circle, and a book appeared. A skill book. Using the book, a notification appeared. You have mastered the rank 1 killing intent skill. As the skeleton was gradually recovering its shape, he quickly transmitted part of his power to the two of them, increasing their killing intent to rank 1. The little skeleton received the power and dashed towards the giant skeleton. Seeing that the competitive monster hurriedly unleashed an attack at him, causing the ground to sink. Once again, the little skeleton died. The lightning rat died. The host died. How could these blows kill Su Ping? He was back to normal, which made it furious. Hiss resurrecting. Woofsats. On the spot, Su Ping seemed to have grasped the giant skeleton's weakness. Even though the last blow was very strong, it also exposed a fatal flaw. Its asymmetrical body and center of gravity make it very difficult to keep its balance. With his own eyes, he observed the next blow. It was attacking the lightning rat, looking ferocious, but it couldn't withstand a single move. The lightning rat began to activate its function. The little skeleton shrank into a corner. A phantom shadow, another move unleashed. Thunder Slash. An idea was drafted. He ordered one to cut its leg and the other to bombard its neck bones. The little skeleton was responsible for providing support. I want that gemstone. The lightning rat agreed. Chit. Lightning attacked straight at its arm. A direct attack from head to toe on the giant skeleton. The ending, for the arrogant guy, the head was severed from its neck. The stone fell out. The stone was... For the hot-headed guy, his head was sent flying off his shoulders and the stone fell out. The stone was... The little skeleton nearby hurriedly snapped a photo of the status board. The lightning mouse successfully completed the kill and its combat power increased by 3 levels. Looking at the mouse's skill board, Su Ping felt relieved. Pretty good. The afterimage skill uses lightning power to create 2 clones that last for a short time with a very small chance to create 3. Being able to create clones is impressive. Well done. Meanwhile, the little skeleton's eyes were locked on the red stone it was absorbing, which surprised Su Ping. He quickly turned back to see what the little skeleton was doing. The system board explained, "This is the undead absorption ability, a unique ability of demon-type pets. They can level up by consuming the energy of their own kind." A moment later, the stone completely vanished and the little skeleton had grown much stronger. Su Ping happily patted its head, feeling the energy surge so strongly it made his hand recoil. That's great. I originally wanted the lightning mouse to eat meat and you to follow along and have some soup, but this time you even got to eat the bones. What a diligent, thrifty little expert. You don't waste a thing. Suddenly, a new scene unfolded behind Su Ping. A spaceship descended, and as he glanced over, he sensed something. A woman half human and half skeleton appeared, leaving him stunned. What was that? The power radiating from her was so overwhelming that even the system couldn't identify her stats. Attribute level, combat power, quality, and skills were all blank. Seeing such power, Su Ping broke into a cold sweat, not daring to move. Is she a high-level creature from this cultivation zone? Maybe I can find some top-tier protection through her. Her hand filled with mysterious power reached straight for him as if to suck out his soul. All 3 of them were completely consumed, body and soul. Thus, the host died. The lightning mouse died. The little skeleton died. Su Ping respawned on the spot, sighing, "Wow, she's strong. I was dead the moment I faced her. Was dead Without hesitation, he asked the person in front of him, "Excuse me, are you the final boss of this place?" She turned around. As he recovered, Su Ping smiled. "Hello, do you have any intelligence?" Without saying a word, she sucked his soul again. Before he could ask anything, he vanished again. Wait, let me finish speaking. The system notification followed. Host died. Remaining respawn count number. Would you like to respawn? Sitting there waiting to revive. Su Ping looked annoyed at the board in front of him. Respawn on site, random respawn in different languages. Seriously, do you think I'm here for a free lunch? This is wasting so much precious time. Being in one spot was making him exhausted. Let's try going somewhere else. So Su Ping chose the new mode, random respawn. The mode activated and he landed in a new quiet space. Looking around to observe, Su Ping suddenly froze. Beneath him, hundreds of people were walking like ants. He didn't know where this was, but looking closely, he saw a familiar face, the freeloader from before. She saw Su Ping looking bewildered. He dove down quickly. Ugh, ah! A magical hand tightly gripped Su Ping. Oh no. He had been standing on the head of the leader the whole time without knowing it. The guy questioned him, "Who are you? And how did you get here? I'll give you 3 seconds to answer." The arm squeezed harder, making Su Ping choke. The pressure was intense. I was just passing by. Are you the leader of this place? The grip wasn't enough to kill him, which made him wonder, why not just finish me off? What is it testing? Stuck in that arm, he couldn't stay calm. Damn it, I keep getting insta-killed, but luckily I respawn. I have the initiative, I can stay or go as I please. But if I get imprisoned, the system's respawn ability won't be effective. If I waste too much time and don't finish the mission, I'm done for. Seeing him stay silent. The giant skull spoke up, reminding him, "To be able to approach me without a sound, you are definitely not an ordinary human. Answer me, I will not ask a third time." Hearing the way he asked, Su Ping realized something. I see. He's wary of my strength. Phew. Still calm, he still had room to act. It was very likely they had never seen a human, and they probably didn't know about the system's existence. Why not use this to bluff him? Without hesitation, Su Ping started his act. I am a clone of the strongest person in the human dimension. I came here this time to test your threat level. If your threat level is too high, I will wipe you all out. The monsters heard this and gasped, "Go protect our king!" Over there. Light flickered in his eye sockets, effortlessly shattering a group of his own soldiers. Watching how he killed his own, Su Ping laughed. I thought these were your loyal subordinates, to kill them just like that. Doesn't your conscience hurt? Could it be that what you're best at is bullying the weak and fearing the strong? A powerful squeeze caused him to explode like a balloon. Host has died. The guy stared his soldiers, going mad. Protecting. Are you mocking me? In this world, nothing can threaten me. Su Ping, having just respawned, looked at him and replied with contempt, "Oh, really? I didn't think he'd be so easy to trick." He was fooled. As long as he wasn't trapped, everything was easy. The soldiers below were in chaos. Seeing the time-space reversal not working, the guy used his ring to suck his magic power, aiming straight at him. He burned Su Ping, then continued to use sharp traps to pierce his body. Host has died. From one time to the next, the host died while Su Ping kept respawning, gradually recovering. He stepped out of the smoke, his body perfectly restored. He smirked. The more I'm insta-killed, the more I adapt. I'm getting used to it now. Seeing him keep resurrecting, the guy's eyes turned red. You can continuously reverse the time-space of the underworld. This human who calls himself an intruder? What kind of terrifying existence is this? Host has died. He respawned again. This time he aimed straight for that stone, the precious gem. It's worth a lot, isn't it? He raised his hand, aiming for the ring containing the stone he wanted. Before it could vanish completely, Su Ping's hand had already touched the stone, grabbing it as fast as the wind. The stone disappeared, the ring empty. The guy was startled, discovering it was time-space displacement again. It is time-space displacement again! Enraged, he left his supreme position and roared, "To be able to simultaneously execute 2 supreme laws! I never thought I'd lose to you. The displacement distance is within my domain. Who are you? Who exactly are you?" The system notified random respawn, selected back to the starting point. Su Ping sighed in relief. Phew! Did you really think I'd just sit there and die? Too naive. After showing off, he immediately ran. CMN, that feels good. He raised his hand to resurrect the little skeleton. The little skeleton put the stone down. He showed it off to the pet. Look at this treasure. Seeing the little skeleton happy, Su Ping smiled brightly. Like it. Since you're my pet, how could you just gnaw on scraps, absorb it? Next battle, it'll be your turn. Suddenly, a monster appeared out of nowhere, charging to attack them with an evil look, but the little skeleton was one step ahead. Before it could touch them, it used its lightning-fast speed to slash through the monster. Basic swordplay. The system board immediately popped up with a notification, Kill successful. Combat power increased to level 4. Mission progress 46%. Su Ping grinned broadly. Like it, my pets don't just chew on scraps. He ordered it, absorb it, you're next in the upcoming fight. Suddenly a monster appeared out of nowhere and charged to attack them with a malevolent gaze. But the little skeleton was one step ahead. Before the monster could even touch it, it used lightning-fast speed to slash through the monster's body. Primary sword technique. The system panel immediately displayed successfully killed. Combat power upgraded to level 4. Mission progress 46%. With 1 day left, the monster's head was severed from its body, rolling across the ground until it stopped at the feet of another monster, which stomped on it. It seemed quite angry, stomping down hard and crushing the monster's head into tiny pieces. This time, a whole army of monsters appeared, their bodies covered in a deep purple hue, wings spread wide, eyes gleaming with pure cruelty. Su Ping just smiled casually and spoke. "Little skeleton, since they're offering so much experience, leave them to you." As soon as he finished, it quickly wiped them out as the system sound chimed. Little skeleton finished killing, combat power leveled up to rank 7. Lightning mouse finished. Finished killing, combat power leveled up to rank 7. Mission progress 94%, 14 minutes remaining. After a long period of continuous slaughter, Su Ping was exhausted. "Huff, huff, these small fries are too weak, not much of a challenge." But just as his guard was down, a monster lying on the ground suddenly opened its eyes. Cells within its body multiplied endlessly as it let out a roar. The monster's body quickly regenerated. Like a cosmic black hole, it pulled the surrounding carcasses toward itself. The monster grew larger and larger, its missing. Body parts were quickly replaced. It let out a deafening roar. Su Ping was startled, realizing he'd overlooked it, and muttered, "You still won't die." He wore a confident smile. Right then, Little Skeleton and his other pets were ready for battle, bloodlust rising. He immediately gave the order. "Just take it down, that will be enough progress." The monster hurled its scythe directly at Su Ping. They realized the scythe was closing in, faster and faster. He ordered Little Skeleton basic swordsmanship. It swung the blade in its hand, blocking the attack from the scythe with ability that had improved through all the recent hunting. Little Skeleton sliced the scythe in two with lightning speed. The monster grew even more furious, roaring as it glared at them. And slammed both hands into the ground. Instantly, blue, writhing arms burst forth from the cracked earth, trying to grab Su Ping, and his pets momentarily restricting their movement. He gasped, "What?" The system panel popped up with a mission progress notification. Mission progress 94%, 7 minutes remaining. Time was running out. Su Ping frowned, annoyed. "I don't need a reminder," he thought to himself. "Damn it, a restraint spell again. Hard to break!" As he thought this, he shouted, "Lightning Mouse, use Lightning Strike on its center!" The Lightning Mouse heard the order and chirped back blue electricity, instantly radiating around it. That bolt of electricity quickly transformed into a massive pillar of light, carrying immense power aimed straight at the monster's core. But unexpectedly, the monster was completely unharmed. The strange hands surrounding it were fading away. Perhaps they were taking the hit for the monster. The monster's hands quickly regenerated and moved toward the monster as if protecting it. Only then did he realize blocked again. The system panel appeared again, but this time the features didn't show specific info from attributes, rank, combat power, talent to control abilities. Su Ping frowned and muttered, "As expected, appraisal failed, but 2 things are certain. 1, those hands aren't afraid of damage skills. 2, those 2 focal points are definitely its weak spots." The system urged him, "Time. Remaining 3 minutes. Su Ping turned to the Lightning Mouse and shouted, "Lightning Mouse, launch, lightning strike, gather your lightning energy and coat your body." The Lightning Mouse released layers of electricity enveloping its body, causing the hands gripping it to be affected as well. The Lightning Mouse chirped, and immediately the hands were struck by this current, forcing them to let go. A system notification appeared. Lightning Mouse has learned the ability Lightning Shell. Effect use exorcism lightning to protect the body. It can maintain damage effects while creating physical paralysis at close range, increasing effectiveness against demon-type enemies. Joy washed over Su Ping's face. He excitedly said, "You learned it." Arcs of electricity began to spread rapidly through the air, crackling as they cut through the hands, forcing them to stop moving for a moment. The Lightning Mouse launched the current, which spread to the monster, causing its body to feel the pain. It roared. Su Ping quickly pulled the hands off his body while commanding, "Break the restraint now, Little Skeleton. Now is the time." Little Skeleton was fired up, wearing a confident grin. The blade in its hand transformed into an evil sword. It decisively slashed straight down at the monster, creating a long red streak. A notification appeared. Little Skeleton finished killing combat power, leveled up to rank 7. Lightning Mouse finished killing combat power, leveled up to rank 7. Remembering that moment, he smiled. The Blood Jade Gem has only absorbed a small fraction of Little Skeleton's combat power, and it's already grown immensely. If it absorbs the rest later, that's enough. The system reminded him main mission. Completed. Received Chaos Essence Map. Partial side mission completed. Received. Power Pill 3 pieces. Rewards have been automatically placed into storage space. Closing training area. Returning to his shop, Su Ping then said appraisal. The system panel displayed full information for Little Skeleton. Little Skeleton attribute, Demon type pet rank 2, high tier combat power rank 7, mid tier. Talent, above average. Abilities, mastered puppetry, undead, servitude, corpse, howl. Intermediate swordsmanship combined with the lowest ranked pet in the demon type. The Sovereign's talent is awakening. Su Ping stared at it, then protested, Rank 2 Little Skeleton's combat power is clearly at rank 7, and the talent is only above average. Hey, system, are you sure you didn't miscalculate? The system replied, The assessment level is based on all data from when Little Skeleton began the infinite chaos until now, conducting a comparison. Host, no need to doubt. Su Ping remembered the image of that Bone King and replied in a deep voice, From the beginning of infinite chaos until now, huh? Interesting. The system panel displayed other information. Lightning Mouse, dark attribute, pet lightning type rank 3, mid-tier combat power rank 7, low-tier talent, above average. Abilities mastery. The abyss of 10 directions riddled with thunder, shadows, fragments, and flashes, the lightning veils summoned the spirits. The death-clawed beast, once a common creature, could now move on its own. Standing firm, Su Ping smiled with satisfaction. Huh. To think a lightning-type pet could actually grasp necromancy skills. He thought to himself, if anyone on the arena floor saw this, being summoned by it, what would they think? He looked over at the pets resting and recuperating, his voice filled with hope. It truly makes one eagerly anticipate what's next. Su Ping suddenly pulled an ancient scroll from the system space. Curiosity etched onto his face, he asked the system, System, what is this chaos power map? The system replied, This is an ancient lost cultivation method. It determines the user's cultivation rank. The system explained, The chaos necrotic map uses your own body as a vast universe using the stars, compared to the acupuncture points and bones all over your body for cultivation. It is completely different from the commonly used Federation power cultivation. Su Ping realized the wonder of this item and smiled, asking, Oh, so I can cultivate this too? Su Ping began to close his eyes and sit cross-legged in a separate space. His entire body, Chieko, was surrounded by a faint light. In the universe of chaotic power, he began to comprehend it, letting the power condense into the origin pill, increasing its mass. When unleashing a skill, he just needed to spin it to create a vortex which could release the power from his body and thus influence the outside world. This is the first level of the Chaos Power Map, the Spirit Spring Realm. Su Ping thought, his eyes focused on the glowing orb condensing before him. Condense the vortex, in short. It's about absorbing other types of power, right? He quickly reached out to grab the small rays of light nearby. With the vision of a battle pet master, shouldn't catching these be? Very simple. The sources of power seemed to have been caught. All but they dissipated in his grasp. He asked in confusion, Can't catch them? These powers passed directly through Su Ping's body. He thought in a different direction. If that's the case, what if I use my body to block the path where the power floats? Having thought of this, he immediately stood to block the floating orb of power. He stared at the orb and said happily, Success. Sure enough, I can only rely on power to absorb power. Su Ping suddenly remembered and reached into the system space, pulling out a bottle. Right, I have 3 bottles of strength pills. I wonder how effective they are. Without much thought, he quickly poured 3 red pills into his palm. Su Ping didn't overthink it. He brought them to his mouth and quickly swallowed them. His whole body felt as if its strength had been enhanced. The orb of power in front of him also emitted a more dazzling light than usual. The origin pill in his body had grown larger. The system interface popped up with a notification. Congratulations to the host for successfully advancing to the Spirit Spring Realm. Character panel unlocked. He looked at the system panel and exclaimed in surprise, "My combat power actually increased by 3 levels. Nam Su Ping, species human. Rank Spirit. Spring Realm, early stage. Combat power level 3. Mid position. Ability score, mastered killing intent." Su Ping suddenly looked dissatisfied. "Hey, system, the photo looks pretty good, but why is the ability score a question mark?" The system. Pure Realm minor stage. Combat power level 3 median position. Looking at the ability score for mastering killing intent. Su Ping suddenly looked dissatisfied. "Hey, system. The photo looks pretty good, but why is the score just a question mark?" The system replied, "The host's current strength does not grant permission to view it. Please quickly upgrade your combat power." He smiled to himself. "These power pills, I've only eaten 3, and my combat power has already increased to level 3, mid position. Normal cultivation would take at least 4 or 5 years. Too powerful." He excitedly asked the system, "Are there any more strength pills?" The system responded with a reminder, "These pills only work for levels 1 and 2. The host has successfully entered level 3. Please explore and cultivate on your own. Furthermore, although this universe is formed by the manifestation of the Chaos Power Map, it is designed to simulate a real universe." The system also issued a warning, "Also host while you are absorbing and cultivating. Please pay attention to stars larger than you to prevent being sucked in." Su Ping's brows furrowed. He asked in a stern voice, "Huh? What happens if I get sucked in? Will it interrupt my cultivation?" The system answered bluntly, "It will destroy your origin soul." He reacted fiercely. "Damn you, system." The system issued a warning, "Cursing detected, warning 1. Furthermore, inside the universe of chaos. Power. The passage of time is the same as normal time. Please pay attention to managing your schedule." Su Ping wearily wiped his sweat and said, "So opportunity and danger coexist, huh?" He thought silently to himself, "Big fish eat small fish." He thought calmly, "Or maybe I just need to avoid the large stars and absorb the ones smaller than me, and that will be enough." He said softly, "Oh, that's less troublesome than the training zone." Suddenly, a flow of thoughts flashed through Su Ping's mind, bringing him back to moments in the past. He lowered his tone. "It's just that I'm a bit bored. I miss her. She seems to be a level 3 battle pet master, too. That time I took a full punch from her." Su Ping wondered to himself, "I wonder if I can take a punch from her now." Night gradually fell, and the tall buildings quickly flickered with electric lights. Qingru said gently, "Eat a bit more. Don't let yourself go hungry." Su Ping wiped his mouth. "Mom's cooking is excellent. I'm full. I'll go back to my room first." Qingru replied, "You brat, why are you being so polite? Go upstairs, be quiet." She reminded him, "Your sister is in the training room. With the competition coming up these next few days, don't disturb her. Tomorrow morning I'll make the corn cakes you like most. Make sure to eat before going out." Su Ping turned around and smiled, replying to Qingru, "I know, Mom." He looked at Qingru, who was busy in the kitchen. Although she wasn't the biological mother of the original host, she seemed to treat the original host quite well. At the very least, he could feel the intimacy and warmth of a family. Su Ping stretched and loosened his joints. Tired, he said, "Su Lingyue is busy preparing for the competition. It seems to be the same school as me, Yan Ying. I originally thought about finding her to spar a bit." He looked towards Lingyue's room where the power was pouring in and thought to himself, "Forget it. I'd better go back to the training room." Su Ping peeked through the crack in the door to reassure himself. The power is very dense. An older brother watching his younger Sister, train for a bit surely doesn't count as peeping, right? She was lying on the bed relaxing, but the power around her was constantly gathering. He was surprised. Such a large spirit spring. Suping widened his eyes, watching her. Why can she absorb power just by lying down, and the scale is so powerful? He relied on his intuition. The power seems to be attracted by something and sucked into her body unless this is a cultivation method taught by the Star Pet Academy. Suping reached out to touch the flow of power. The power in something is absorbing it into her body, unless this is a training method taught by the Astral Pet Academy. Suping reached out and gently touched the flow of astral energy. The astral energy within. The real world is weaker than the power in the chaos power universe. Furthermore, it is distributed evenly. The rule of power in the chaos power universe is divided into dense and sparse areas. I'm afraid the giant stars have already surrounded the evenly distributed power. He quickly sat down cross-legged. If I can learn the cultivation method of the Star Pet Academy, wouldn't my cultivation speed in the chaos power universe skyrocket? Suping imitated Ling Yue. She was rotating her own power. I should try it too. Having thought of that, a vortex of power began to gather. He suddenly realized, it's the pulling force, that's right, Why didn't I think of this before? Suping realized if he could just use a vortex to create a suction force when the energy density was high enough, he could pull the astral energy closer to absorb it without having to run around everywhere. Suping's younger brother and sister were practicing on the side. He tried a different method testing to see if rotating it clockwise versus counterclockwise made any difference. Just then, Ling Yue suddenly woke up. She woke up rubbing her eyes in annoyance. Ugh, why does it feel like absorbing energy is becoming more and more exhausting? Did I fall asleep? Suping grinned. It was a success. He tried one clockwise and one counterclockwise. As the two astral power vortexes grew larger and larger, Ling Yue was startled, feeling as if her astral energy was being pulled away. What is this sensation? She asked in confusion, scanning the surrounding space. Strange, the astral energy has suddenly coagulated and won't be absorbed. Why? When she tried to circulate her energy again, it was suddenly chaotic. Ling Yue considered another possibility and exclaimed in surprise, could it be that there's a powerful expert passing by? The streams of astral energy kept drifting away, flowing like a river toward Suping's room. Ling Yue groaned in frustration, her face flushed with exhaustion. Ah Ching heard the strange sound and asked worriedly, Ling Yue, what's wrong? Ling Yue, embarrassed, covered her face and replied in confusion, Mom, I'm fine, I'm just practicing. She steadied her mind, frowning and trying to guess. This freakish astral energy definitely has something strange about it, but the direction it was flowing toward was clearly that useless brother's room. Ling Yue glared at the partially closed door. On the other side, Suping was drenched in sweat, his face soaked. He let out a soft sigh, looking at the stable astral vortex in front of him with satisfaction. I've got the hang of it now. Inside the shop, there wasn't a soul to be seen. In the store, Suping was immersed in practice, the chaotic cosmic astral energy there swirling endlessly being absorbed by Suping. He couldn't help but exclaim, so comfortable, the astral energy of the stars is gathering and being absorbed by me non-stop. As long as I maintain the distance well, I won't get sucked in. With that, Suping realized that even while sleeping, he could practice. Suddenly, he sensed two people entering the shop. Boss, I'm here to pick up my pet. Suping muttered, this size? He stopped. His training opened his eyes and greeted them. Oh, it's you two. Hearing Suping's mutterings, Yanbing and Lei Lei felt embarrassed and hurriedly covered their chests. What size, boss, you? He hurriedly coughed to explain, what I meant was the astral energy. Your astral energy is too weak. You need to work harder on your cultivation, otherwise how can you control stronger astral pets? Yanbing asked in surprise. Stronger astral pets. She secretly thought, could the Thunderlight Mouse have leveled up in just 3 short days? Suping was inwardly worried. Bringing back a level 7 combat power pet to the academy when the average is only level 3 or 4. Would there really be no problems? But he said aloud, wait a moment, I'll bring the astral pet out. A moment later, Suping brought out the Thunderlight mouse and handed it over. Take it, you've already paid for it last time. Yanbing took back the Thunderlight mouse and thanked him softly. Thanks. She pondered privately. Has the fur color of the Thunderlight mouse changed? Moreover, looking at the other pets, she realized their mood seemed very depressed. They had only been away for a few days. Seeing their owners, they showed no excitement at all. Could it be? That they are reluctant to leave this place. Su Ping sat on the side, waving his hand impatiently. Go on, go on. Yanbing pondered again. Did a few days of boarding make the pets develop feelings? Even if emotions are transferred through the astral pact between owner and pet at the beginning, there were no feelings, just basic obedience. Once the contract is broken, there shouldn't be any connection left. Lei Li checked the state of her pets and couldn't help but exclaim, their wounds seem to have all healed, and their fur has become so much brighter. Yanbing also inwardly marveled. This is truly a dedicated shop. She sincerely thanked him. Thank you, boss. Thank you for taking such good care of them. How about you recommend me some more feed? Su Ping considered this, wanting to use this to repay the favor. Never mind this time. I won't rip you off. He recommended buy this one. One portion for 1,200 to feed the deer phoenix. Yanbing replied in surprise. Okay, 1,200 per portion. A while later, Yanbing went to an open area and suggested, we have a bit of time before the match. I want to warm up. She privately thought, the change in the Thunderlight mouse makes me very curious. Just how strong has it become? She said seriously. Lele, summon your strongest pet. Don't hold back. Lele happily replied, sure, so confident, huh? As soon as she finished speaking, she chanted the incantation. Appear now. Lele reminded her confidently. Don't cry if you get hurt. Okay. Yanbing analyzed it seriously. Sure enough, it appeared the Rock. Humanoid pet, a high bloodline ace that Lele was most proud of. Although it wasn't fully grown, it already had level 5 combat power. She thought, I hope the Thunderlight mouse can hold up. Just need to test the power of the Thunder Flash and Thunder Image slightly, that's enough. Immediately after Yanbing ordered, Go Thunderlight Mouse, the eyes of the mouse glowed brightly as it shrieked, Chirp! Instantly, the Thunderlight mouse lunged to attack the earthbound head. Seeing this, Lele ordered casually, Tang Tang, go play with it for a bit. The earthbound head used its 4 hands to cast a spell. Its whole body radiated energy, and countless stone pillars erupted from the ground to attack the Thunderlight mouse. The Thunderlight mouse's body crackled with lightning as it nimbly dodged while simultaneously closing in on the earthbound head. Seeing this, the earthbound head reacted quickly, kicking the stone pillars into sharp rocks to attack the mouse. Yanbing hurriedly ordered Thunder Image, the Thunderlight mouse. It obeyed immediately, splitting into 3 clones. Lele was extremely surprised. It can actually split into 3 afterimages. Yanbing was delighted. With the Thunder Image clones, the 3 Thunderlight mice directly bypassed the earthbound head and attacked toward Lele. Lele, seeing this, hurriedly used a shield while panicking and shouting, Bing, bing! Are you letting it fight, Tang Tang? My shield is very weak, Yanbing replied, reassuring her. Don't worry. I just let the Thunderlight mouse approach you. I'm not ordering an attack. She calculated inwardly. The earthbound head is a high bloodline pet with extraordinary observation skills. This is a particularly good opportunity to test the Thunder Image. The earthbound head quickly used a skill to block the Thunderlight mouse. The moment the mouse lunged, the earthbound head unleashed a strike beneath the mouse. A loud noise rang out in front of Lei Li's shield. The earthbound head caught the Thunderlight mouse in its hand. Both Lele and Yanbing were shocked. It caught it. Suddenly, the Thunderlight mouse appeared from nowhere. The mouse stomped on the earthbound head's face, and at the same time, the clones vanished. The earthbound head was completely... After being startled, the Thunder Mouse suddenly released such a terrifying aura that the Earth Monk trembled in fear. The Earth Monk scrambled away, screaming, oh no, but then suddenly... What kind of earth is this? And why be so scared? Isn't it just about not being able to catch the prey? The Earth Monk knew he couldn't win, he just wanted to protect Nak. Nak ignoring her cries as layers of earth began to... Stone and dirt started to surround Nak and the Earth Monk, forming a solid enclosed wall. Nak still didn't understand what was happening, hurriedly trying to calm her beast. Wait. I'm safe. Let me go quickly. Yan Ying stared in shock. Even though she saw it with her own eyes, she couldn't believe it. The Earth Monk has a high-tier bloodline and an elemental advantage, and yet it was scared like that by a low-tier thundermouse. Yan Ying excitedly clenched her fists. That's just too unbelievable. High above the arena, the announcer began, full of enthusiasm. The annual student voting system for Fengshan Academy concludes now. The match officially begins. The announcer started the introductions. On the left side of the arena, the new Dark Horse of the Year, Yan Ying. The announcer switched to the other contestant, and on the right side of the arena, a veteran who made it into last year's top 10, Li Jai. He wore a cold expression with a confident smirk. As always, the rules both sides bring out 3 beasts to battle. Whoever annihilates the opponent's entire team of beasts wins. Before the announcer could finish his sentence, Li Jai had already summoned his beast. Come out! From behind him, a water-hidden beast emerged. Seeing Li Ji summon his beast, first the audience in the stands started whispering, "Look quick, he actually summoned his starting beast first. Isn't he afraid the opponent will target him? True, a top 10 veteran from last year? How could he make such a basic mistake? Li Jai is getting arrogant." Yan Ying started to analyze a water-hidden beast, a water-type beast with a mid-tier bloodline, specializing in stealth and assassination. She immediately summoned hers too. Go! Soon after the phoenix appeared, Yan Ying said seriously, "Our attributes counteract each other, so it's a matter of whose combat power is stronger." The announcer continued his passionate commentary. Amazing, the first beast Su sends out is the high-tier phoenix. Against a mid-tier water-hidden beast, it's truly a strong opponent. How will Li Jai respond? Suddenly, an arm was raised. It was Li Jai. He calmly announced, "I forfeit." Wait, let us... Even the announcer was surprised by this situation. Contestant Li just said he forfeits. Did I hear that wrong? Li Jai replied with a sinister look. No. Wrong. I said I forfeit this round. The announcer, still professional, continued. Though I don't... You understand what happened. Contestant Li has chosen to surrender the first round. Yan Ying wins. Even though she won the first round, Yan Ying was still very cautious, silently pondering. He's smiling. What exactly? Xiao is he planning? Suddenly, a spatial rift appeared behind Li Jie. He smiled sinisterly and said, "Sometimes to ensure the prey takes the bait, a lure is essential. Go!" As if Yan Ying had discovered something, spiderwebs immediately spread from the spatial rift across the entire arena, right after the Earthwalker appeared, behind Li Jai. He confidently analyzed, "The phoenix may not be the strongest beast you have, but it is definitely the most troublesome to deal with." He pushed up his glasses. "The Thundermouse, Rocktooth, and White-Tooth Tiger are all ground combat types. I just need to send out a beast with high combat power and I can easily crush them." Li Ji began calculating. Only the phoenix specializes in, aerial strikes. Even a level 5 beast would have a hard time hitting it, and it would eventually collapse from exhaustion. It must be taken out first. Li Ji smiled arrogantly. "Sorry, classmate Su. I've investigated all the information about you. You're definitely going to lose." Suddenly, a fireball flew toward him. Li Jai dismissively used a flimsy shield. "Too weak." Before the words left his mouth, the shield was incinerated. Li Jie was also scorched, screaming, It's so hot." Yan Ying, looking confident, said, "Are you done yet?" Li Jai gritted his teeth in anger. He immediately ordered the Earthwalker, pierce, sharp spikes appeared, and thrust toward the Phoenix. Yan Ying reacted quickly, ordering Phoenix dodge. She thought to herself, that was too fast. Yan Ying continued to command, "Boost your power. Hurry, break free, use full force attack." The Phoenix quickly dodged and flew, up from the ground, escaping the Earthwalker's range. While dodging, it quickly accumulated energy to counterattack with 2 moves, Crimson Flame Wings and Flame/Li Jai calmly ordered the Earthwalker, Earth Monk Shield. Immediately a defensive barrier appeared blocking the attack. Seeing the Phoenix's attack, easily blocked. Yan Ying was stunned. How is that possible? Even though ground-type beasts can resist fire, this dirt wall is way too hard. As the smoke cleared, Yan Ying saw the dirt wall was without a single crack. Li Ji mockingly sneered, Only realizing it now, the Phoenix is just level 3. How dare it face a mature level 4 Earthwalker? Earth prison, he commanded. The announcer analyzed the situation. It's out. The Earth prison technique. The Earthwalker's most skilled specialty. They say it can crush any life form of a lower level than the Earthwalker. Its cruelty is enough to make even high-tier beasts wary. Seeing the attack, Yan Ying quickly ordered, A response, the net is closing in. The Phoenix tried to find a way to tear a hole in it. Yan Ying quickly used a level 3 power boost skill. Despite desperate efforts to attack, the Phoenix still couldn't escape. The net. The net was tightening more and more. The announcer's voice rang out again. Under the Phoenix's attack, the Earthwalker's Earth prison keeps tightening. It's so hopeless. The Earth prison is so tight that even the Beastmaster is in immediate danger. The announcer reported, even if she forfeits now, it would be completely reasonable, but contestant Su is still holding on. Yan Ying remained persistent. Phoenix, keep trying to break free. But the more it struggled, the more injuries it sustained. It screamed in pain. Seeing the Phoenix injured, Yan Ying worriedly shouted, Phoenix, don't struggle anymore, you'll only get hurt worse. Li Jai smugly commented, everything is going according to my plan. Just forfeit, the pain will vanish immediately. Seeing this, Yan Ying, although unwilling, couldn't bear to see the Phoenix hurt. She decided to forfeit. I forfeit. Before Yan Ying could finish, the Phoenix let out a sharp screech. In its beak, the Phoenix concentrated. A powerful surge of energy. Immediately that energy was unleashed forward. The energy tore through the net, cut through the shield, and attacked, the Earthwalker rendering it immobile. Both Li Jai and Yan Ying were shocked. This is... The judges realized and shouted, Ultimate Beam. Li Jie was dumbfounded, looking at the rocks being sliced apart, along with the resounding shout, Ultimate Beam. Contestant Su's Phoenix has actually mastered a high-tier level 8 skill with just one move. It rendered the Earthwalker immobile. Nam Fong, seeing this, was also horrified and spoke cautiously. No way. The Phoenix, even though it's classified as a high-tier bloodline, caused the earth-stomping beast to lose its ability to move. Nanfang saw this and was terrified, then cautiously spoke up, no way, even though the Luo Phoenix is classified as a high bloodline species. But among all the high-blooded beast species, its natural talent is actually at the bottom, and to make matters worse, it doesn't even possess the extreme beam in its base inherited skills. Woku observed with an inscrutable smile, then praised, no matter what, this dear Phoenix, N has truly pulled it off. And the most important thing is, it's not even fully grown yet. Its future is truly limitless. The vice principal of Phoenix Mountain Academy suddenly chimed in from behind. Don't forget this young girl's lightning rat also used lightning flash before. Nam Fong, intrigued, turned to ask him, Vice Principal, what is this young lady's name? Suddenly, Huoku's powerful hand gripped the collar of his shirt, lifting him up. With a cold, murderous expression, she warned, her name is Su Yanying. I've already got my eye on her. Are you trying to poach her? His eyes trembled as he looked at Huoku, then quickly explained, Ha-ha, I was just asking. On the other side, the vice principal, completely unfazed by their interaction, thought, I never expected such a genius to appear this year. If she can enter the reclamation squad and earn merit and glory, she will become a massive pillar of strength that the Academy can rely on. In the stands among thousands of spectators, and someone suddenly recognized her. That's the girl who raised the Rat King. Beside him, another person chimed in, Damn it, my pet beast hasn't even mastered a high-level skill yet. Right then on the arena, the deer phoenix was surrounded by flames. It let out a loud roar, leaving Yan Ying stunned. It leveled up. Not only had it mastered the level 8 extreme beam, but its combat strength had also increased to level 4. Lower rank still in shock, she froze in disbelief. With such high talent, is this still my dear phoenix? The memories flashed back to the day Yan Ying met Su Ping and his words, our shop's pet fostering service. Besides treating wounds, can also help improve comprehension and enhance physical fitness along the way. She stood there still skeptical. Just along the way. That's way too exaggerated. At the same time, the MC announced, Round 2, Su Yanying wins, both parties prepare for the third match. Li Ke, hearing this, stood up frustrated. What kind of rotten luck is this? I was clearly just a hair's breadth away from winning. Third time's the charm. He gritted his teeth, his temper flaring, and growled. As expected, this deer phoenix is the hardest to deal with. Fine then. I'll let you see what real terror is. Lika, driven mad by shame, roared. Immediately, he summoned the wind demon beast. Its appearance left Yanying terrified. This is 4 wings. It's a fully grown wind demon beast, level 5 upper rank combat strength. High above Woku saw this and was horrified. Isn't it forbidden for students to bring some feral beasts? What if something happens implying that feral beasts are too aggressive and lack humanity? Nam Fong, hearing this, smiled at her. Woku, your way of thinking is too conservative. Every year, how many people die in the wastelands? Those feral beasts don't just roar. The match began. The vice principal behind them spoke up. No need to worry. He stroked his beard and calmly continued. Our school's faculty is very strong. A high-level expert is acting as referee. Nothing will go wrong. The vice principal watched the match growing more intense and slowly said, As for that wind demon beast, I wonder what methods were used to hire it. After the match, I will definitely discipline that student properly. Li Ke, physically broken, used every ounce of his strength to command Wind Demon Beast Myriad Manifestation / Wait, there was a jump in the sequence correcting to match context. The Wind Demon Beast heard him but ignored him coldly. Li Ke saw this and cursed. You hateful beast! He thought to himself, the level gap is too big so it won't take orders. Forcing a monster like this to fight really is a bit of a stretch. Yanying took this opportunity to channel more energy into the deer phoenix, boosting its power. Increased wind power, gradually receiving more energy, enhancing perception, strengthening defense. Seizing the perfect opportunity, the deer phoenix attacked directly. The Beastmaster seized the moment. The wind demon beast's deep glowing eyes locked onto Yanying and the deer phoenix. It seemed to use an ability, teleporting instantly, agilely approaching the tiny Yanying. Before the wind demon beast could even prepare, her face turned pale. Too fast. The MC, closely watching the match, was suddenly shocked. A single move from contestant Sue's deer phoenix was neutralized in a flash. The wind demon beast's sharp claws turned to approach Yanying. Under the gale, she shouted, What do you want? In a flash, it left a wound on Yanying's shoulder, and arm blood seeping out. Her leg was also torn, splattered with blood. Seeing this scene, Woku turned to the vice principal and questioned, What is happening? This round Su Yanying has already lost. Why hasn't the wind demon beast stopped yet? On the side, no one noticed, but Li Ke had already lost consciousness. Suddenly, someone screamed, Damn it! Li Ke passed out! At this moment, the wind demon beast frantically attacked Yanying, making her scream in panic. Stop! Stop! The vice principal suddenly shouted, The order. The wind demon beast is completely out of control. Referee, stop the match immediately. The referee replied, and instantly with the wind god bird rushed forward and commanded, Go! The wind god bird saw its target and immediately flew at lightning speed to prevent a tragedy. Suddenly, a flash of red energy shot out, saving Yanying at the last second. The judges watched in horror, along with the murmurs of the audience. The speed is so fast. What was that? It's even faster than the wind god. A bird. The murmurs didn't stop. That's going too far. At this moment, as the situation stabilized, it became clear. The MC saw this and spoke up. It's the lightning rat. Contestant Sue summoned the lightning rat to block the myriad manifestation / Woku regained her composure and silently pondered, No. If it were a normal Beastmaster, they would have been done for. Su Yanying didn't make any summoning gestures. The lightning rat had been on the field from the very start. But if that's the case, then the ability to hide. The lightning rat's aura is just too strong. Seeing the situation shift, the MC announced, So the third round begins. The wind demon beast started attacking. Yanying. I cautiously analyzed. The number of wind blades is increasing. How can I dodge this? The lightning rat agilely responded, using its ability to summon spectral soldiers. Carefully analyzing, the number of wind blades was increasing. How could it dodge that? The lightning rat agilely responded by using the necromantic summoning ability, necromancy. With an instant appearance that stunned the crowd and sent the audience into a frenzy, it summoned the Thunderlight Mouse. What? It can actually use a demon-type skill. This is unbelievable. I want to train one, too. Yan Ying suddenly felt like she was floating in mid-air. She was pulled behind a cover by a force narrowly avoiding the Wind Demon Beast's attack. The battle grew more intense than ever, with the MC giving a non-stop excited play-by-play. How did it get its hands on a Thunderlight Mouse? And it can use demon-type summoning skills. Not only that, it even blocked the 10,000 image slicing slash. The Thunderlight Mouse seemed to have gathered even more power. Its murderous intent was palpable. Facing it, the Wind Demon Beast was no less aggressive. It let out a roar, bombarding every direction and tearing the ground apart. The two contrasting powers clashed without giving an inch. Seeing the Thunderlight Mouse engage head-on like that, Yan Ying grew worried. Thunderlight Mouse, even the MC was shocked by the unfolding situation. The Thunderlight Mouse is actually letting the Thunderlight Mouse face a mature upper rank 5 Wind Demon Beast directly. This rookie is too reckless. Suddenly, silence enveloped the arena. The Thunderlight Mouse streaked past the Wind Demon Beast ferociously, making the MC hold his breath. What would be the result of such recklessness? The Wind Demon Beast had its left side torn off by the Thunderlight Mouse. This threw everyone into a chaotic uproar. An instant kill, the Thunderlight Mouse actually managed to kill it. The Wind Demon Beast, losing control and all its strength, collapsed. The crowd was buzzing louder and louder. The Wind Demon Beast actually suffered such a massive wound. The killing intent radiating from the Thunderlight Mouse was incredibly powerful, forcing the spectators to exclaim, "Thunder Slash, the strength of that Thunderlight Mouse is..." and is so terrifying. The referee stared mouth agape, thinking, the intent to kill is so heavy. Is the Thunderlight Mouse trying to finish the Wind Demon Beast off? Glancing at Yan Ying, the referee guessed, is that her command? Yan Ying was in a state of mental confusion, wondering, we won. But why is it still acting so frantic? Unless, has the Thunderlight Mouse lost control too? The referee continued to spiral in his own thoughts. These rookies are playing for keeps. He simultaneously ordered the Wind God Bird to advance. Wind God Bird, move. After giving the order, the referee thought, in a match, malicious intent to kill a pet is grounds for disqualification. Seeing a talent he couldn't let go to waste, the referee made a resolute decision. He couldn't let such a promising star's future be cut short. Sensing something, the Thunderlight Mouse turned back with cold, piercing eyes. Without hesitation, it unleashed its attack, 10-directional Thunder Prison. Seeing that things weren't going well, the referee shouted loudly, "Wind God Bird, retreat!" The Wind God Bird took a painful hit, collapsed, and let out a shriek. The referee, frustrated, thought, it actually managed to injure my Wind God Bird. Observing slowly, the referee's face twitched as he thought, how is this possible? Among level 7 pets, you can count those that can keep up with its speed on one hand, let alone a Thunderlight Mouse. The audience above was thoroughly fascinated by the sight before them. 10-directional Thunder Prison. It said that once you're locked in, you're immediately pierced by 10,000 lightning strikes. Even rock-type pets can't take that. The vice principal looked on, wondering, the Thunderlight Mouse can actually master the level 7 Thunder Slash. That's already top tier, and now it's using a level 8 10-directional Thunder Prison. Nan Feng, as if seeing something interesting, chimed in, sure enough. A top-tier pet skill, yet it's on a Thunderlight Mouse. Even an average bloodline pet like that would be worth a fortune. Hyoji, watching from the side, looked intrigued and thought to herself, this Thunderlight Mouse isn't even afraid of a level 7 Wind God Bird. That's real courage. She suddenly spoke up, I really like this rookie more and more. The Wind God Bird, meanwhile, was slowly recovering, accompanied by a foul mood. The referee above, seeing this, worried. The Wind God Bird's rage reached its peak. It accumulated wind, creating a giant vortex. The Wind God Bird released boundless power, rushing forward with a roar. The Thunderlight Mouse was no less ferocious, clashing head-on without a shred of fear. The vortex was growing larger, as if it would sweep the entire arena away. The referee hurriedly tried to calm the Wind God Bird. Seeing no improvement, the referee thought desperately. This is bad. If I let the Wind God Bird fight the out-of-control Thunderlight Mouse, and the Wind God Bird loses control too, the accumulated power could flip the whole arena. Yanying, dazed and confused, finally snapped back to reality. She suddenly realized with joy, "Thunderlight Mouse, you learned another high-level pet skill?" It smiled brightly and looked back at Yanying. She ran over and hugged the Thunderlight Mouse in celebration. "My big treasure? Oh my God!" The referee standing by and watching the scene was stunned. Wait, the Thunderlight Mouse didn't lose control. The MC began to announce the results across all platforms. The winner of this match is Su Yanying. Joining in the joyful atmosphere, the MC added, "Congratulations to her on advancing to the next round elsewhere." Su Bin was listlessly yawning and stretching, wondering. So that's what they call impressive. The person on the other side of the screen spoke, "By injecting your own spiritual energy into this fragrant cat, and bypassing the meridians in its front legs, you can reinforce them." Su Bin watched intently and listened further. The difficulty of this cultivation method lies in the need to be extremely familiar with the pet's bodily structure. Otherwise, the injected spiritual energy cannot be digested and will cause a backlash. The girl on the screen took a measuring tape to the cat's leg while everyone watched, to make the Wind God Bird fight against the out-of-control lightning rat. Since the Wind God was severely out of control, its power kept building up more and more potentially, tearing up the entire arena. Yanying was swirling in a daze. Regaining her senses, she reacted suddenly, realizing with joy, "Lightning rat, you've learned another high-level pet skill." She smiled brightly and turned back to look at Yanying. "Chirp." She ran over and hugged the lightning rat to celebrate. "Chirp, chirp, my big treasure." "Oh my God," the referee, standing to the side watching this scene, was stunned. The lightning rat isn't out of control." The MC announced the results. On all forums, the result of this match was that the winner is Su Yanying. Joining the cheerful atmosphere, I'd like to add, congratulations to her for advancing to the next round elsewhere. Su Ping was lazily yawning and stretching, wondering, so that's considered impressive. The person on the other side of the screen spoke up, "Inject your own astral energy into this scented cat's body. Skip the meridians in its front leg, just like that. You can strengthen the scented cat's front leg." He observed closely and listened further. In this training method, the difficulty lies in needing to be extremely familiar with the physical structure of the astral pet. Otherwise, the injected astral energy cannot be digested and will cause the opposite effect. The girl on the screen took a ruler to measure the cat's leg. "Everyone look!" The scent. Cat's metamorphosis. Its front paws grew another 2 centimeters. The girl continued, saying, "The final result is a significant boost in the front paw's attack power. It increased by 1/5, and the training only took 3 months. Su Ping thought as he watched the video. So in this world, increasing combat power is actually this hard. No wonder Su Yanying was so panicked. Should I record a video too to attract customers? Outside the shop, a sports car pulled up. "Stop right there." Yujing stepped out, glanced inside, and called out, "Boss, long time no see." He scanned the shop and added, "Got any new stock?" Su Ping looked up at the noise and immediately recognized him. "Oh, it's you. Is your hand okay?" Yujing, full of bravado, retorted, "Hey boss, you surely haven't been to the city hospital, have you?" Su Ping looked at his juvenile behavior with a blank stare, having zero interest in caring. Yujing puffed himself up and said, "As long as you pay, even if every bone in your body is shattered, they can put you back together." Su Ping guessed immediately. "Sounds like you've got money?" Su Ping glanced at the shelves and hinted at him, "Well, why don't you support the shop's business then? These undead-type rations can be discounted for you." Yujing looked at the price tag and was stunned. "What? This is 100 times more expensive than last time." His younger sister was equally shocked. "One ration pack costs almost as much as your surgery fees." The failed business deal made Su Ping lose interest. "If there's nothing else, you can head back. I still have to train." Yujing, acting humble, clasped his hands and said, "Ha ha, I was just showing off a bit earlier. When it comes to real strength, you're still the best. To be honest, I came here this time to invite you to go down the mountain. Are you interested in pioneering?" Memories flooded back with countless wonders from the past. Blue Planet was once a planet lacking resources until that day, when a massive surge of energy tore through space, forming a star rift. A wave of magnificent emotion kept surging. These unstable star rifts were like bridges connecting to other unknown planets. At that time, when facing the strange and dangerous, there were planets with rich resources, some filled with fierce beasts, and some that clashed with the pure destructive power of nature even, some as scorching as the sun. Leveraging the benefits of the star rifts, humanity was able to continuously seize resources from other planets and develop. Up until now, they have built powerful nations. But unfortunately, that prosperity only lasted a few hundred years. In order to compete for high-quality star rifts, humanity fell into years of constant civil war. The cruel reality plunged many into hardship, causing the human population to drop by more than half. The land itself seemed to be exhausted. Nearly 70% of Blue Planet became barren, no longer suitable for living. Taking advantage of this, the remaining survivors reached a consensus to form a federation, moving together to settle in areas where star rifts did not frequently appear. To survive, the Federation went all out to cultivate battle pet warriors. A new era dawned, and at the same time they selected top talents to be the pioneers to go out and explore the star rifts to find treasures. Hearing this, Su Ping fell into deep thought, silently puzzled. Pioneering, huh? Yu Jing secretly watched his expression and added, Actually, last night, a new star rift appeared outside the Longjiang base city. Our Black Wolf team was the first exploration squad, but we were unfortunately ambushed and got separated from a scarlet-tailed fox beast. Suddenly, Su Ping's system panel appeared. Congratulations to the host for triggering a side quest. Find the lost pet beast. Quest reward, a god-demon level skill training manual. Quest failure. 10 points deducted from the host's score. He quickly reined in his emotions and thought seriously, a god-demon level skill training manual. That chaotic astral power map the system gave last time was extremely useful for increasing my strength. This precious manual shouldn't be any worse. Thinking of something made Su Ping slightly curl his lips. Perfect. I was looking to test my combat skills anyway. Forget about those thoughts. They decided to set off for the Pioneer base. The car roared toward the destination with such power that the area monitor immediately announced over the radio to let the team's car through. The tires screeched against the arid ground, leaving a cloud of dust behind as they pushed forward toward the 38th Pioneer base. Upon arrival, they stepped out of the car. Yu Jing quickly raised his hand. Captain, we're here seeing this gang lie. Sized him up and spoke. Is this the extraordinary master you mentioned? Young brother, may I ask your name? Su Ping replied calmly. Su Ping? Ping as in peaceful, nothing unusual. Li Ying, seeing him like this, felt interest peak. We often hear that kid Fan Yu Jing mention you. Today, meeting you. You are indeed a young hero. Su, my friend, you are so young. Barely 20, right? Su Ping was surprised and reflexively replied, 18. As soon as he finished speaking, all three of them froze, wearing expressions of total disbelief. Li Ying quickly collected himself and said, 18 years old. You're not even old enough to graduate from a Battle Pet Warrior Academy. Which school are you from? Su Ping didn't overthink it and replied, self-taught, mastered it on my own. Yu Jing on the side was so panicked that he stammered, this. Gang Li, momentarily at a loss for words, offered a suggestion. Brother Su this time. Going into the Star Rift is extremely dangerous. To join our team, you need to register your identity first. Also, to facilitate our combat cooperation, Isai, hope you can let us familiarize ourselves with your pet beast. Su Ping smiled faintly, and as he summoned his pet, he said, No problem, but I have no intention of joining the Pioneer team. I am only here to find the scarlet-tailed fox. Hearing this, Li Ying could no longer maintain his calm composure, and spoke up, You're young, but your tone is quite big. Do you think the Pioneers are something you can just join whenever you want? Gang Lai, seeing the situation destabilize, intervened. Hey, Brother Su, is the guest that little fan invited? Do not be rude. And that same moment, a pair of eyes filled with killing intent appeared, accompanied by Su Ping's voice. Come out, the summoned pet continued, its fierce bombardment causing everyone witnessing it to be left in awe and shock. Yu Jing was completely stunned. He stiffened and murmured, This is Suddenly, the little skeleton dropped. "Do not be rude." At the same time, a pair of eyes filled with killing intent appeared, accompanied by Su Ping's voice, "Come out." Upon being summoned, the pet just went straight for a massive destructive bombardment, leaving onlookers in total shock. Yu Jing was completely stunned. He stiffened and muttered subconsciously, "This is..." Suddenly, the little skeleton fell. The skeleton's head was still there, so they all shouted in unison, "Little skeleton!" Su Ping then walked over, picked up the head, and retrieved the crimson stone, something he had clearly prepared before leaving the cultivation area. "After 7 or 8 days, this head is still this big, but it should be enough for the exploration zone," Su Ping muttered. Gang Lai and Li Ying watched his actions and listened to his words, completely dumbfounded. Ngok King, on the other hand, was curious. "Boss Su, do you only have one pet?" When Su Ping heard this, he replied, "That's right, just one for now." Upon hearing his answer, the man stuttered in fear. "Boss Su, you might not know this. Our captain and second in command have very short tempers. If I truly messed this up, I'd be done for." Su Ping adjusted the little skeleton's head and calmly said, "Don't worry, since I've taken on the task, I won't let you down." Suddenly, he gave it a sudden order to attack. The little skeleton drew its sword, flashed through a few strikes, and stopped in a cool, stylish pose. The three of them witnessed the display and couldn't stop gasping. The speed was so fast that they only saw the sword being sheathed before they could even think everything. The blade passed through was sliced into chunks both large and small, leaving them terrified. "Whoa!" Just then, as they entered the base, the system suddenly rang out. "Please step forward and enter your identity information." Su Ping followed the system's request. It began scanning to recognize his face. As the recognition finished, the system chimed, "Hello, Su Ping." Information then appeared on the screen. Su Ping male, 18 years old, Lam Long Kindergarten, Than Oan Elementary School. Than Oan Junior Hai Bok Vat High School. Bloodline Battle Pet Warrior. No clan. Father Su Yuan Shan. Mother Lai Than Nhu. Younger sister Su Ling Yue. Then it continued. Authorization received. Registration for temporary explorer status complete. Hearing the announcement, he wondered, is that it? Beside him, Ngok Kin looked at Su Ping's profile, and 1,000 questions arose. An ordinary high schooler, who actually awakened on his own to become a battle pet warrior, and he's really only 18. Seeing his expression, Li Ying stepped in to warn him, "Don't celebrate too early. As a temporary explorer, even if you can accumulate merits while exploring." He walked inside and added, "You don't have the special privileges of an official explorer. If you commit wrongdoing out there, you'll still be punished like any ordinary person." Ngok Kin saw Su Ping still standing there and said, "Boss Su, we are going this way." He added with a smug look, "Don't worry, Boss Su. If you ever get caught, I'll definitely bail you out. No need to thank me. As an explorer, I still have a few privileges." Su Ping heard him clearly but didn't show any emotion, thinking to himself, "Thinking about abusing those privileges all day long. These people are truly hopeless." They approached the Federal Exploration Depot. The heavy door slowly opened. As it fully opened, Su Ping Mao looked inside and was amazed. This was the interior of the Federal Exploration Depot, filled with strange artifacts. Gang Lai pointed to the thousands of items behind him and said, "Brother Su, the exploration zone is extremely dangerous. Pick a few treasures for self-defense. It's my treat." Su Ping, still stunned, thought, "These are all treasures that aren't usually seen on the market." Seeing his expression, the man chuckled and said, "Of course, the ones that are too expensive, you know how it is." Su Ping snapped out of it happily, replying, "Understood." Ngok Kin looked around and couldn't help but marvel. "Every time I come to the exploration depot, my eyes are truly opened." Su Ping walked up to a certain item, thinking to himself, "Some of these are even as beautiful as the treasures in the cultivation area, unless these were also gathered from other star domains." Seeing him hesitant, Gang Lai finally spoke up. "It's been a while, Brother Su. Have you made your choice?" Su Ping didn't care for the other defensive items. He just pointed to the things beside him. "Give me these, that's enough." Ngok Kin saw the items and was stunned. These were items kept in glass cases. They were basic cultivation manuals. Moreover, they were basic battle pet warrior manuals levels 1 to 6. Level 1 treasures for 10 merit points. It's like a joke. Li Ying laughed out loud. Ngak-kin, who did you invite? Ha ha ha. Gang Lai also laughed. Along ha ha ha, Ngak-kin was flustered quickly saying, Hey, hey. Tss. Boss Su, we are about to go to the exploration zone. The captain meant that he's afraid you'll get hurt, so why are you picking manuals to train with instead of armor and weapons? Seeing his ridiculous reaction, Su Ping calmly replied, Before I succeed, I don't want to owe others too much. Don't worry, I know what I'm doing. Dali, secretly observed Su Ping. Manuals are for long-term training. This guy is either brainless or he is extremely confident in his own strength. I hope it's the latter. After receiving, the item there was one more thing in his hand that left him confused. Ngak-kin looked at him and quickly explained, This was gifted to you by the captain. It can block most attacks from level 5-star pets. If our Black Wolf team fails again, we'll lose a lot of face. Su Ping heard this, his eyes deepening, and he replied, I understand. A long time passed, and the sky turned dark as they moved toward the star rift. Here the barren earth and rocks were scattered in fragments, making the path difficult. Su Ping paused slightly while walking and asked, How much do you actually know about this star rift? Ngak-kin looked ahead and replied, The danger level is currently rated B. It usually harbors ghost-type wild beasts, and no rare minerals have been discovered yet. Hearing that, he immediately thought, Ghost-type A, I've come to exactly the right place. Then he continued, You mentioned 2 people were seriously injured. Who is coming to fill in the vacancy left by the other person? They finally moved forward. He warned cautiously, The other person is an assistant, the second in command, who is coming to join us. I heard he's a ruthless type. You absolutely must not provoke him. Suddenly, a giant bird's leg swooped down, landing right in front of Su Ping's pet. And Ngak-kin, startled, lost his balance, causing Su Ping to nearly fall. He exclaimed in alarm, Who is it, over on that side? Without even looking at them, the voice teased, You guys are too slow. I've been waiting until I almost fell asleep. Suddenly, the landscape grew quiet, as if merging into the darkness. Su Ping steadied Ngak-kin and said, I've got you. He looked at the boy, still acting tough, and said, Good thing my resolve is strong. If I had fallen in there, even someone stronger than a level 6 would probably be smashed to pieces. Su thought helplessly to himself, Fine, whatever. Cut the boasting. This isn't the time for that. After stepping forward to shake hands, Quang Liet said, I heard you lost your blood-veined earth demon beast, right? He sighed and replied, Sigh, it was just a moment of carelessness. If she weren't so scatterbrained every day, I really wouldn't want to go in there again. He quickly added, I told you, taking elite troops to the wasteland is the right move. Suddenly, Ma Kong's eyes locked onto Su, and he caught the tail end of Quang Liet's words. Ha ha. Got it, I heard you loud and clear. He wiped the smile off his face and asked, Wait, who is this? Why wasn't he in the briefing? Quang Liet patted Su's shoulder lightly and introduced him. This is the external support. The one little fam invited. Ma Kong heard this and couldn't help but be curious. Brother Su, you look so clean. Is this your first time in the wasteland? You looked at me. I looked at you. Should he explain what happened earlier? No. Ma Kong's face darkened instantly, growing fearful. Who the hell is he supposed to be? Swords and blades have no eyes. He can't even handle a little thing like this. On what grounds does he want to go to the wasteland? Quang Liet replied. Brother Su might not be a regular explorer, but he knows the nature of spirit beasts very well. His strength is good enough to pass. He didn't seem convinced and sneered, good enough to pass, if that's all it takes. Anyone could become an explorer now. Once we go in, everyone follows my orders. Otherwise, don't blame me for being heartless later. Ma Kong glanced at Su and thought, You little brat daring to stare me down. Quang Liet continued to vouch for him without noticing Su's expression. Ma Kong, don't worry about that. I brought him here, so I will naturally manage him well. Ma Kong saw the look, in his eyes filled with killing intent. He hesitated. What's this? The cold gaze from Su made him feel like he was looking at a dead man. He then questioned, is this really his first time in the wasteland? After each member of the exploration team entered the cracked space rift Ngak-kin, I looked embarrassed and quickly explained to Su, Boss Su, we explorers are all straight shooters, don't take it to heart. Su replied calmly, No, not at all. because as it happens, my thoughts are exactly the same as his. Right after that, everyone entered the space rift. Kuang Liat ordered, "Turn up the lights. We are on another planet now." Ma Kong reminded, "Haven't spotted any ferocious beasts yet. Stay close." At this moment, Kuang Liat directed, "We need to go through that forest. Li Ung find a path." He quickly responded, "Yes." The space around the forest was dark, filled with mist. The water here was red as blood, and strange spirit beasts existed within. During this time, the scout bird summoned by Li Ung reported back, "There are only small unidentified beast creatures at the lake ahead. The fog is too thick to distinguish anything from the air." Kuang Liat asked, "Is there any way to go around it nearby?" Li Ung answered, "No. The other paths all have ferocious beasts." Ma Kong summoned his beast and said directly, "Then let's go through there and take a look. If it's a high-level beast, we'll deal with it then." The night vision device helped the whole team see the spirit beast clearly. Hiding to one side, Kuang Liat observed, "It's an adult desert tiger scale. Estimated combat power level 5. Ma Kong confidently said, "Just kill it. Swift and decisive." Kuang Liat reminded, "Don't linger here for too long." He replied, "No problem. The credit belongs to me." Su felt that something was wrong and stopped them. "Wait a minute. Are you sure you're not mistaken? Let me borrow the night vision device for a second." Ma Kong glared at him. "What do you mean, are you questioning our judgment?" Su explained calmly. "The desert tiger scale drinks very little water. It mainly relies on eating small insects to replenish its hydration. Furthermore, everyone feel the temperature. In this weather, the tiger scale wouldn't be out wandering around." Ngok Kin agreed. "That's right. The desert tiger scale is a tropical spirit beast. It shouldn't appear in such a damp and cold place." "Are you sure you didn't see it wrong?" Li Ung replied firmly, "I saw it. It's a desert tiger scale, no mistake." Ma Kong checked again and scoffed. "It is a desert tiger scale. An amateur giving random commands a waste of time." He immediately ordered, "Take it down." The ginseng skin beast immediately targeted the tiger scale and attacked. Suddenly, the skin on the outside of the tiger scale burned away, revealing a dried skeleton and countless wriggling tentacles. Kuang Liat quickly realized, "That tiger scale is dead. That wasn't a disguise, was it?" Just as he finished speaking, the ginseng skin beast bit down hard on the dead tiger scale. Seeing this, Su hurriedly warned, "Ginseng skin, tell it to let go immediately. Pull back if you don't want it to die." Ma Kong shouted angrily, "Who do you think you are? When is it your turn to give me orders?" Suddenly, the ginseng skin beast's eyes were invaded by a black liquid. It screamed in pain and thrashed. "Ah!" Kuang Liat quickly asked, "Brother Su, you mentioned soul beasts earlier. I rarely encounter evil-type spirit beasts. Could you explain?" Su explained, "An adult soul beast has level 7 combat power. They often disguise themselves as a weak creature to lure prey to their door. Once inside the prey's body, it quickly dissolves them from the inside out." Hearing this, he replied, "Brother Su, if it's level 7, let's attack together." Su rejected Kuang Liat's proposal and continued, "No. The most terrifying thing about a soul beast isn't the beast itself, but what it has a symbiotic relationship with the blood soul beast." Hearing a strange name, Ngok Kin asked in a panic, "Soul beast, blood soul beast." "Wait, boss. Su, what are you talking about?" Su explained further. "Where there is a soul beast, there is usually a blood soul beast hiding, facing the panic of everyone around him." Su stated his speculation. "If my guess is correct, there is no water in that lake at all. It's blood." The moment Su finished the ginseng skin, beast was dragged into the lake. A blood soul beast was lying in wait. Seeing the prey, the blood soul beast slowly revealed itself. Ma Kong panicked. "The ginseng skin beast's consciousness has been severed." "Monster!" Su shouted. "Go quickly! The level 7 soul beast is just providing nutrients. This blood soul beast is at least level 9, maybe even a sovereign beast." As soon as Su finished speaking, the blood soul beast fully emerged. The blood soul beast rapidly attacked the group. Su was running away. They panicked and summoned their spirit beasts, bloodthirsty demon wolf-winged serpent long dragon. Kuang Liat ordered, "Everyone hurry over here." He immediately commanded, "Lai Ung plot a route." Behind them, the blood soul beast was still rapidly pursuing. Feeling the signal from his spirit beast, Lai Ung quickly replied, "There are two paths. To the east, there are some unidentified ferocious beasts." Everyone around Su Ping began to speculate. If I'm not mistaken, that lake isn't filled with water but blood. Just as Su Ping finished speaking, Chen Senkua's feet and everyone else were about to be submerged in the lake. A blood soul beast was lying in wait. Seeing its prey, the blood soul beast slowly emerged. Panicked Chen Senkua's consciousness was cut off. "It's severed monster," Su Ping shouted. "Move, a level 7 soul beast is providing nutrients. This blood soul beast is at least level 9, maybe even a beast king." As soon as Su Ping finished speaking, the blood soul beast fully revealed itself and lunged toward Su Ping's group. While fleeing, they frantically summoned their pets, the bloodthirsty demon wolf, the winged spear dragon, and the steel tiger. "Everyone hurry," Su Ping commanded, immediately directing Li Ying to plan the route. Behind them, the blood soul beast was still rapidly closing in. Sensing the signal from his pet, Li Ying quickly replied, "There are two paths. To the east, there are some unidentified fierce beasts. The west side is temporarily safe. To the west is the Spirit Spring crevice, while to the east is where the flame-tailed blood fox vanished." Li Ying asks anxiously, "What do we do now? Which way do we go?" Kuang Liat asks, feeling helpless. "Damn it, is there really no other choice? Why not just shout and retreat westward? I've already lost one of my pets. If we keep barging in, it's basically suicide," Kuang Liat says, turning to Su Ping. "Brother Su, what do you think?" Su Ping smiles confidently and says, "My suggestion is to head straight to the east." Makong, not hiding his panic, retorts, "What are you talking about? Are you crazy? Isn't one blood soul beast enough for us?" On the other side, Li Ying agrees. "That's right, Captain, I agree with retreating." Kuang Liat looks at Su Ping and asks again, "Brother Su, are you sure about this? If we go the wrong way?" Su Ping replies seriously, "I wouldn't joke about this. If you still want to find the blood fox and return safely, then trust me. Hurry, we're out of time." Hearing this, Kuang Liat makes a decision. "I hope this isn't the last decision of my life." He orders, "Li Ying, head east." Li Ying replies, "Understood." Kuang Liat continues, directing them into the canyon. The group quickly pushes deep inside. Behind them, the blood soul beast is still in hot pursuit, refusing to let go of its prey. Suddenly, Li Ying's face changes as he reports, "Captain, the beasts in the canyon are actively hiding." With his words, every beast on the map moves away. Kuang Liat looks toward the blood soul beast, gritting his teeth as he says, "They realize the blood soul beast is behind us, so they're keeping their distance. Does that mean—" Not understanding what Kuang Liat sees, he yells in surprise, "Huh?" Everyone realizes that after entering the canyon, the blood soul beast's speed gradually slows down and its desire to pursue diminishes. Ma Kong asks incredulously, "The blood soul beast's urge to hunt weakened." Su Ping looks slightly surprised and says, "How could that be? Although the blood soul beast has high combat power, it isn't the type to actively hunt." He explains further, it prefers to lure prey through soul beasts, making them come to it instead. Plus, this canyon is too cramped for it. We aren't exactly a gourmet feast either, only a fool would give up. Free food outside just to crawl into the ground looking for thrills, right? Kuang Liat turns to look at Ma Kong, thinking, if I had such deep knowledge, I wouldn't have chosen to retreat. Ma Kong sees Kuang Liat looking at him and yells, "Hey, what are you looking at me for? I don't know the traits of the blood soul beast." Soon after, Li Ying reports, "Captain, we are about to reach the location of the blood fox, but there's a beast lingering at the exit of the canyon." Su Ping asks, "Did you hear that?" Ma Kong blankly says, "Give me the night vision device, you say." Ma Kong, though annoyed, still hands it to Su Ping. "Don't get cocky with me, take it, you poor devil." Su Ping accepts the night vision device and replies, "Thanks." He activates the device. The system sound chimes, "Night vision image enhancement software installed." Before his eyes, a spirit beast appears, holding a sword in its hand. A vicious, soul-devouring beast. Recognizing the creature, Su Ping says, "It's a fully matured death soul estimated at level 5 combat power." Kuang Liat asks anxiously, "Is it a demon type? Will there be any problems?" Su Ping replies, "Don't worry, I've already made my move." saying that he summons the little skeleton and commands, "Proceed as usual." Receiving the order, the little skeleton quickly draws its bone blade and approaches the level 5 spirit beast. As soon as it gets close enough, the little skeleton suddenly bursts with speed, immediately executing the intermediate sword technique. The blade flashes, and in an instant, the level 5 spirit beast is one-shotted, turning into two streams of dark energy that slowly dissipate. Everyone around is astonished. Kwang Liat praises, "A one-shot. How decisive." Ngok-kin can't help but exclaim, "It was settled just like that." "If I had known, I would have listened to the boss earlier." Ma Kong, trying to keep his composure, says coldly, "It was just luck. I could have done that to such low-level trash," he says, though he is secretly jealous. "Let him show off for a bit." A while later, the whole group emerges from the canyon. Before them stands a majestic mountain, towering straight into the sky. Seeing the mountain, Kwang Liat says with a grave expression, "This massive mountain is extremely dangerous. Last time we encountered an unidentified high-level beast here and lost the blood fox." Su Ping nods slightly and says, "Let's save time. Everyone split up and search for clues." Immediately, the scout pets are summoned. Everyone spreads out for a wide-range search. A moment later, a pet detects something and lets out a loud cry, drawing attention. "Chirp!" Hearing that, everyone gathers to check the situation. Ngok-kin asks, "Multi-ear monkey, what did you find?" Seeing something, Ma Kong is surprised. The monkey uses its tail to hold an object, making everyone shocked. "An arm?" Ma Kong says with a grim expression. "This is a Black Cloud Gold Gauntlet. You have to be at least a veteran level leader to have the strength to afford such a good gauntlet." Hearing this, the faces of Li Ying and Ngok-kin change. Worried Ngok-kin says, "Captain, he actually died so miserably here. Just what kind of monster did he encounter?" At this moment, Su Ping arrives. He says, "What did you find? Let me see." Ma Kong acts disdainful, saying, "Forget it. You're an expert at equipment, right?" Su Ping pays no mind and repeats, "Give it to me." Ma Kong, glaring at Su Ping, says, "All right. Being in charge twice must be very fun, right? Don't drag me into it. Give me orders. I am a master-level explorer. Even if I accidentally kill a nameless battle pet master, I'd only get a minor punishment. Understand?" Suddenly, the air is thick with tension. He lets go and says, "Oops, my hand slipped. Pick it up yourself." Seeing this, Su Ping's face turns gloomy, his eyes flashing with danger. Ma Kong repeats, "Pick it up yourself." Su Ping suppresses his anger and leans down to pick up the arm. Gauntlet. On the other side, Ngok-kin thinks to himself, what is going on with these two? Taking the arm, Su Ping observes it. He analyzes internally. The blood has dried. He probably died a few days ago. But the wound still retains traces of dense, dark energy. Could there be another high-level demon-type beast around here? Seeing Su Ping's grim expression, Kwang Liat asks, "Brother Su, you look pale. Did you find anything related to the flame-tailed blood fox?" Su Ping continues to ponder. "But this happened days ago. Maybe it has long since left." Sighing, he replies, "No." Hearing that, Ma Kong from the side sneers mockingly, "Ha ha, putting on such a serious face. I thought you had some brilliant insight. Wow, you're really something." Hearing him mocking, Su Ping suddenly stomps his foot to gain momentum. Instantly, he launches a fist into Ma Kong's smirking face without a shred of mercy. Everyone witnesses the scene that made everyone gasp at the sight. Everyone was stunned, and Ngok-kin was left speechless. Mr. To, having been punched in the face by To Bin, didn't lose his temper. Instead, he roared, "You little brat, I'll kill you!" As he swung his sword, he growled, "How dare you strike a man's face?" He slashed at To Bin, yelling, "Looks like you're tired of living." A flash of sword light streaked through the air, pointing straight at his throat, leaving Ma Kao frozen. Unable to move, he stared at the skeleton, pointing the sword at his neck. Startled, he wondered, since when did this kid... Suddenly, Liang appeared behind him, sword aimed at his nape, threatening, "Call off your pets or else." To Bin coldly replied, "Why don't you tell him to sheath his blade first?" Ngok-kin, terrified, raised his hands and pleaded, "Mister, to please, let's talk this out. Why are you attacking each other?" To Bin's face darkened. He retorted, "He started it." Sparks flew from the skeleton's eyes. Bin said fiercely, "You've been pestering me over and over, radiating intense killing intent," as he warned, "Don't blame me for being ruthless." Leung trembled, thinking, such powerful killing intent. Could he really be confident enough to wipe us all out right here? He didn't dare shout or put on a show of force, thinking, "Don't think I wouldn't dare to touch you." Kwang Luk turned and said, "Brother Lam, this is Brother To's fault. I apologize on his behalf." Lai Ung also added, "After this, I will compensate for the losses of the ginseng. Just consider it a favor to me. Let's finish the mission first." Ngok Kin was flustered and shocked, saying, "Exactly, Mr. To, in the wild, infighting is a major taboo. In the end, none of us, Min, would make it back." Bin said with a cold face, "Is that so? I just feel that those who don't follow orders are nothing but a nuisance." He continued, "Better one less than one more." Hearing this, Ma Kao narrowed his eyes in annoyance. His hand holding the sword trembled. He lowered it and said, "Humph. To Bin, I've marked you. I'll follow your lead for now, but once we get back to base, you'll see who you're dealing with." Bin turned and said, "I'll be taking command of our next moves. Any objections, Lieutenant?" Leung thought, he really wants to do this. There's no way this kid gets out of here in one piece. Does he think he's seen through us? In this situation, we only have one choice. And to prioritize this big picture. He said, "I only follow the captain's orders. Please don't ask me." Kwang Luk patted his shoulder and said, "Brother, to your drive is good, but if you cause trouble like that again, I swear."
"And I won't be so forgiving, understand?"
He whispered into his ear, "I can see what you're capable of. Let it go." "I have no objections, but that kid, Lam Macau, I don't think he's just going to let it go. Watch out for him playing dirty on the road." Ma Kao, with a dark expression, turned, his head back, seemingly powerless to act. He chuckled and followed his lead. Suddenly, a bright red flare shot into the sky. Everyone looked up. Kwang Luk saw it and said, "That's it," he shouted. "There's a situation. Let's go check it out." Transon, helping Kok Tuit up with difficulty, said, "Go, go! Don't worry about me anymore. You need to run." A demon phantom appeared, towering before everyone's eyes. It let out a roar that shook the heavens. Transon covered his ears, thinking, "Oh no." It's a mental shockwave. It shot spikes toward them. Those spikes pierced through other monsters and flew straight toward Transon's face, but he couldn't move his body at all. The spikes were suddenly sliced in two. He looked up in surprise. "Who are you guys?" 3 people sitting on a 2-headed monster appeared. Kwang Luk introduced them. "We are the Black Wolf Squad. We heard your distress signal just now." He warned everyone. "Be extremely careful. The assault is," Transon shouted, "the Demon Phantom." Kwang Luk turned around, stunned. "It's him!" He recognized the bastard that ambushed us last time. The 3 helped Transon and Kok Tuyet onto the beast. Bin urged, "Hurry up." Ma Ko reminded everyone. "Hold on tight," he cautioned. "Careful. It's shaking." Bin and Kok Tuit were thrown off the monster. She screamed, "Ah!" He turned as if sensing the danger. The demon phantom was about to stomp on the 2 of them. Ma Kao shouted, "Go faster!" The demon phantom stomped down, but the 2 were pulled onto the monster just in time. Lai Ung said, "Mr. To, hold on tight." He was annoyed that he couldn't deal with Bin. Bin turned and said, "Deputy Captain, finding a flat path will only slow us down." This kid, he was almost killed just a moment ago, and yet he isn't even a little rattled. He thought terrain obstacles don't affect the demon phantom. He replied, "Understood." Kwang Luk turned and said, "On the way we found a lot of severed limbs and carcasses of spirit beasts. Is your team really down to just 2 people? His face darkened. The last Earth Shield beast I had. I already handed it over earlier." Kok Tuit told him, "My Azure Flame Bird can still fight." Kwang Luk turned to look. Among the rank 8 spirit beasts, the Azure Flame Bird was considered quite fierce. Even it was injured that badly. Everyone fled from the demon phantom. The combat power of this demon phantom is probably approaching. Bin saw this and thought, the weak point of the demon phantom is surrounded by a very hard bone structure. Relying only on the little skeleton's attacks, it's absolutely impossible to break the defense. We still need their help to get past this hurdle, then I'll settle the score with Lam Macau later. Transon had an idea. He said, I have a proposal. If we continue like this, none of us will make it out. Everyone leave your spirit beasts behind. To buy us time to retreat, Macau shouted. I just handed over one a while ago and you want me to give up another one? Transon patted his chest and said, After we get out of here, I deep. Transon will fully compensate you for the lost spirit beasts. Besides, there will be a reward. I will definitely not break my promise. Kwang Luk turned, stunned. Diep Transon, you're that famous Kim Hwan pioneer on the ranking list, Macau retorted. I don't care who you are. My spirit beasts took me so much effort to train. You think you can just buy them? He said, I'll offer triple the price. He turned and shouted, Liang, tell your men to summon their spirit beasts and hold the rear. Otherwise, we'll all die here. Liang turned and said, You all heard. Him right, to survive, everyone must contribute. The three heard this and their faces darkened. Ngak-kin, nervous and anxious, said, Understood. Kok Tuyet turned to her azure flame bird, stunned. To Bin sighed in frustration. Without hesitation, he jumped off the monster. To Bin and the skeleton landed lightly. The two stood tall in front of the demon phantom. Ngak-kin shouted in shock, Mr. Toe, Macau darkened thinking. You idiot trying to be a hero, huh? Then go ahead and die alone here. I absolutely will not let the others stop to save you. Suddenly, hands sprouted from the ground. Everyone screamed, What is that? Skeletons began to rise from the earth. See. Everyone gasped. Oh no, we're surrounded. The monsters stood straight before them. Kwang Luk broke into a sweat. There's absolutely no reaction. What are you saying? It isn't coming to attack us? Su Ping shouted, his voice echoing. Captain, your pet has been with you for so long, and yet this is how you treat it. It's soul-bound servitude, he said with a darkened expression. Just discarding it like that, it's truly terrifying. Standing his ground, Su Ping issued his command. All units attack. The skeleton legion began to advance while the skeletal demon sprinted behind the little skeleton. Flank them. Keep your presence hidden and launch a surprise strike. The skeletal demon leaped up, stomping hard onto the ground. Everyone watched in shock, murmuring, How is it possible that a rank 8 skeletal demon is being overpowered by a mere skeleton? It's gaining the upper hand. Zhang Li jumped down and said, Brother Su, I'm here to help you. Yu Jing followed suit. Captain, I'm coming too, Li Ying announced. Captain, we're rushing in too, let's go. He scowled, clearly annoyed, and spat back. You want me to go and help that brat? If we desert now, we'll never hear the end of the mockery. But if we manage to kill this skeletal demon, the reward will be enough for us to trade for several new pets. He clenched his fists, shouting, Damn it, it's infuriating, he roared. Yet again we're being ordered around by a rookie, Zhang Li shouted. Bloodthirsty demon wolf. Yu Jing looked up. Gorge hound, Li Ying commanded. Winged serpent dragon. Gu Shui also stood up. Holy spirit bird. Go, he commanded. The 6-armed magic ape and all the other monsters charged toward the skeletal demon. The 6-armed magic ape leaped forward, unleashing an intermediate sword technique as it swung its blades. The 6-armed magic ape aimed straight for the skeletal demon's eyes. Chung Yan prepared to launch her ultimate skill, the Great Death Ray, while the serpent dragon unleashed its frost breath. Both monsters fired their attacks. The gorge hound threw a devastating punch, smashing the skeletal demon so hard its teeth scattered all over the ground. Yu Jing cheered. Nice, knocked its teeth right out. The ground was littered with teeth. He continued. Bloodthirsty demon wolf, 3-headed hellhound charge, seize the momentum. Gu Shui use hunting strike. As she launched her attack at the skeletal demon, everyone was suddenly stunned. Su Ping watched, thinking, its ribs are opening up. Gu Shui screamed, Get out of there! It's a mental shockwave! Chen Shan stood his ground, manifesting a shield in front of the two of them. The skeletal demon swung out, sending the monsters flying. Everyone struggled to maintain their defensive barrier. Og-winged serpent dragon power boost! Bloodthirsty demon wolf, answer me! Everyone called out in desperation. Get up quickly! But only the skeletal demon slowly rose its bone integration skill, failing. Chen Shan struggled to stand. That last attack, it didn't do anything at all. As expected, trying to take down a rank 8 with just a few rank 6 or 7 monsters is nothing but a pipe dream. The skeletal demon prepared to launch its spikes. It fired the spikes toward the other monsters. Zhang Li shouted in panic. "This is bad! The distance is too far! I can't activate the space recall! If you're not going to help stop shouting orders like an idiot, just listen to me and run!" Su Ping's voice cut through the air. "Little skeleton intermediate sword technique." The skeleton rose to its feet. Everyone was stunned the little skeleton hadn't been knocked out. "How?" Zhang Li turned, stunned. "That was a rank 8 mental shockwave. How is that possible?" Su Ping calmly replied, "Sturdy bones can resist it, of course. It couldn't be taken head-on, but what if the little skeleton used undead roar at the same time?" He thought. "I remember that at the exact moment of releasing undead roar, it creates a small-scale shockwave, but can it really withstand the impact of a mental shock?" Zhang Li's expression darkened as he pondered. "I've never heard of such a combat strategy. An ordinary person would never gamble like this. Besides, without over 100 repetitions, you can't possibly master the timing." He couldn't help but stare at Su Ping's back, shouting, "Just what kind of life has this guy lived?" The skeletal demon began to evolve. Watching the scene, everyone trembled in fear. Is it reaching rank 9? It's preparing for death annihilation? Don't just stand there, run. I'm not going to be driven crazy by you anymore. Death annihilation is coming. Everything within a 1,000-meter radius will be vaporized. Su Ping remained calm and commanded, "Little skeleton now." The skeleton prepared its move. It leaped and slashed straight through the skeletal demon. Everyone was shocked, their faces pale. "Boss Su!" After that single strike from the skeletal demon suddenly exploded. After the slash, the skeletal demon's bones collapsed onto the ground. The screen flashed. Little skeleton successfully killed the target. Battle power leveled up to rank 8. Skill upgraded from intermediate sword technique to advanced sword technique. Everyone was stunned by what they had just witnessed. A rank 8 skeletal demon. It was actually killed just like that. Zhang Li was also in shock. And that little skeleton? It didn't look like anything special. She added, "I have truly never even imagined a combat style like this before." He hesitated. "How is that even possible?" Yujing trembled. "Ha ha! I really thought we were dead for sure, Boss Su. How did you know that attacking from the inside was the only way to take it down?" Su Ping replied, "Nothing special, just happened to have encountered something similar before." He pondered, why is it that only undead-type pets can learn bone integration? Why is it that sometimes when the little skeleton is shattered, it can reassemble and other times it can't? The answer is simple. The physical body is merely the shell. The soul core is the true foundation of undead-type pets. He remembered the skeleton as long as the core wasn't damaged. Undead pets could always trigger the integration skill. Conversely, if you know how to exploit this, any undead-type pet is just a paper tiger. Su Ping smirked. This battle further confirmed his theory. A stream of power surged around the skeleton's hands as the skeletal demon's bones suddenly began to reassemble. Everyone was terrified and bewildered. At that moment, Li Ying spoke up. "Is this demon head not actually dead yet?" Chen Shan said. "Something's not right. Its movements are bizarre, as if it's being controlled by someone." He suddenly realized, could it be the puppet technique? Yujing asked hesitantly. "Boss Su, is it under your control now?" "Yeah," he replied. "You could say that." "What?" he shouted in surprise. "What do you mean you could say that?" Not only did he master high-level undead servitude, but he also killed and turned a rank 8 enemy into a puppet. Is this little skeleton's master? A warrior or a mage? How could anyone train like this? Just then, a red surge of power emanated from the two-headed monster. Zhang Li turned and ordered, "We can't delay any longer. We must continue our search for the blood fox." Li Ying replied, "Yes, sir." Su Ping stepped forward and told them to wait. "I have one more thing to take care of. I hope you'll all pretend you didn't see anything." Zhang Li stepped forward looking worried. "Brother Su, please, for our sake." "What are you trying to do?" Su Ping replied with a light laugh. "Nothing at all. Just want to remind you to be careful." The skeleton lunged. Not only has he mastered high-level undead enslavement, but he also killed and turned a level 8 enemy into a puppet. This little skeleton. Is it a warrior or a mage? How could he train it like that? Just then, a red surge of power erupted from the two-headed beast. Gang Li turned and ordered, "We can't delay. We must keep searching for the blood lake." Li Ying replied, "Understood." Su Ping stepped forward and told them, "Wait, I have one more thing to settle. I hope you all will act like you didn't see anything. Gang Li stepped forward, looking a bit anxious. Brother Su? Please, for our sake, don't... Before he could shout in anger, what are you trying to do? Su Ping smiled lightly and replied, Nothing much. Just wanted to remind you to be a little more careful. Skeleton attack. Slash. With a clean cut, he severed the guy's arm. Pioneering is dangerous. You need to be more careful. The guy screamed in agony. Ah, you dare. Su Ping's face darkened, his voice cold and menacing. If you want to stay in the captain's good graces, get lost. If you ever cross me again, don't ever let me see your face again. The guy clutched his severed arm in shock and pain. What? Su Ping narrowed his eyes, his glare fierce and threatening. If you aren't willing to disappear on your own, I'd be more than happy to help you. His face drained of color, pale as a ghost. The guy stumbled back, clutching his arm in terror and scrambling away. Gang Li sighed, feeling helpless. Yu Jing raised her voice. Boss, Su, what are you... Doing this is way too far. Gu Zhu watched silently, thinking, this guy's heart is twisted. Keeping him around will only spell trouble for us later. Getting rid of him now is definitely the right call. Li Ying spoke up. We're looking for a crimson-tailed blood fox. Do you two have any leads? Chen Shan replied, blood fox no. Combined with previous line. She thought for a moment. I think I've seen its tracks before. Su Ping looked at them, his eyes lighting up. Really where under the purple moonlight? Shining down on this mystical land. Su Ping and the little skeleton were sitting on the remains of a demon beast when it suddenly spotted something. It hopped off the carcass and sprinted away. Su Ping wondered what could be in that cave to attract the little skeleton. He turned back and said, Gu Shui, lend me your signal gun for a second. Here, take it. Su Ping grabbed the gun from her and fired a shot into the sky. A bright flare illuminated everything. Everyone saw a demonic beast lying there. That's it. Gang Li beamed, his face lighting up. Found it. They slid down from the rocky ledge. He patted the beast's head and said, You made it really hard to find you. All right, mission accomplished, Gang Li said, turning back. Let's head out. Su Ping raised a hand. Wait just a second. The others looked at him puzzled. Brother Su. Su Ping touched the rock wall in front of him, squinting suspiciously. It feels like something is hidden in here. Yu Jing stepped closer to the rock and activated her scanner. Let me check. A diagnostic screen popped up in front of them. Unknown elemental content? 91.214%. Uranium content 0.002%. Gold content 2.902%. Silver content 1.123%. Iron content 3.31%. Nitrogen content 0.001%. Yu Jing turned to the group. No matches found in any known elements. This is an unidentified mineral deposit. Gang Li heard this and replied, Oh, got it. Su Ping, seeing their nonchalant attitude, asked in surprise, Wait, why aren't you guys reacting to this? Yu Jing winked and explained with a laugh, I forgot this is your first time with our pioneering team. If you find a rare mineral deposit, you can definitely make a fortune. That much is true. She gestured with her hands. But the silver water stream runs through the entire star system. The odds of running into high-grade ore are like finding a needle in a haystack. Yu Jing shrugged. Pioneering time is precious. Who would want to waste it? Usually we just report it once we get back. The federal government will send someone else to take samples later. Su Ping smiled slightly. The little skeleton was so excited about this ore. It definitely isn't just something ordinary. Before this mineral falls into the government's hands, wouldn't it be all mine to claim a notification screen appeared, Mission accomplished. Reward 1 Cage God Demon Manual. Gu Shui stepped forward and said to Su Ping, Boss Su here is my business card. Gu Shui brushed her hair back, offering a friendly, inviting smile. If you're interested, I hope you can visit our academy sometime. I'd love to introduce you to our dean. He took the business card, his face looking somewhat helpless. Thanks for the kind offer, he said, though inwardly he thought transmigrated. And still, can't escape the fate of having to study. Su Ping waved goodbye to her. With this thing, I'm even more curious about the artifacts the system provides. At the same time, he said to Gu Shui, I still have things to take care of. Let's talk more next time, okay? She was caught off guard and said, Wait a second. Watching his figure disappear, she muttered, leaving so decisively. Gu Shui sighed. Should I have been more direct? If only I could have convinced him to come to Fengshan as an instructor, that would have been great. Early the next morning, Su Ping yawned wearily. Suddenly, a sharp, piercing gaze was locked onto him. Ling Yue stood there with her arms crossed, her face furious as she interrogated him. It's so early, don't tell me you actually didn't sleep at all last night. Out all night, were you? Su Ping walked past her exhausted and replied, That's right, what a coincidence. So you were too— Ling Yu stuck out her tongue, teasing him. Who's matching with you, you loser, brother? I wake up early every morning to exercise. Su Ping didn't bother arguing with her. He trudged upstairs. So impressive, I'm so proud of you. Hearing that, Ling Yue's face flushed red. She stomped her foot, frustrated. Ugh, who needs you to be proud of me? Just then, Su Ping lay on his bed, his finger scrolling through the system interface. He pointed to something strange and asked, System, what exactly is this cage god demon body? The system explained. The cage god demon body is the secret technique of the legendary cage god demon clan. They were born from the scorching energy of the sun. From birth, they possessed the strength, Ishel of mountains and rivers. Through cultivation, one can break through the heavens and remain undefeated. In the primordial era, they conquered more than half of the universe, everywhere. The cage god demons went all things returned to dust. Their descendants called them god demons. Su Ping bolted upright, stunned. It's that powerful. The system display flashed a warning. Cultivating the cage god demon body will constantly and reconstruct your physical form. The process is extremely long and arduous. Furthermore, it requires a high battle power level and vast amounts of material resources. Ultimately, you will no longer be human, but will become a god demon ruling over all under the heavens. Su Ping looked at his hands, worried. Will this body turn me into a monster? That sounds way too much like a villain's path, he thought to himself. The system sensed his unease and explained, on this point, Host, do not worry. Once the cage god demon form is cultivated, your body will be composed of pure energy. You can choose to maintain your original appearance based on your preferences. It will not affect your normal life. Su Ping pondered this. A normal life. Where can I even find a normal life anymore? He recalled everything that had happened in the past. The week-in. This world lived without even a shred of dignity. Maybe not being human is the only way to actually live more like a human. A look of resolve flashed across his face. Fine, I'll play by your rules. The delivery person arrived and Su Ping stood to the side telling them, just leave the stuff there, that's fine. You guys can head out now. The delivery crew replied, sure thing. He sat down and tapped on the shipping crate in front of him. Federal warehouse gear is actually pretty decent. Getting it delivered right to the door is super convenient. The crate hummed as the identification was successful. Su Ping had conjured up a surge of energy while out mining for ore and hunting a few beasts, to trade for merit points. It just so happened he bought a set of lightweight combat gear to wear over his primordial armor. It had been activated and could rely on his own essence power to upgrade its defense, to fit him perfectly, resisting attacks from ranks 1 through 7. He watched as the armor plates wrapped around his body one by one. Su Ping opened the crates and muttered, training materials for the golden Crow Devil body first tier. Everything's gathered. The efficiency is way higher than going to a training area. He calculated that most of the materials and essence power needed for the golden Crow Devil body could be obtained from the exploration warehouse and the Chaos Essence map. After upgrading the Devil body, he would be able to explore even more dangerous areas in the wilderness. The Chaos Essence map's perfect cycle was complete. Su Ping looked at the fossils in the box. The only remaining issue was these minerals. He picked one up and asked the system, to upgrade the foster care pen I have to pay, right? The system answered immediately, correct. Both upgrading and maintaining the foster care pen requires energy points from the host to cover the cost. Su Ping chuckled. So if I use these minerals to modify the foster care pen instead, can I reduce the upgrade fee with materials I provide? His eyes narrowed. Of course, everything was about being able to nurture stronger astral pets. The system screen displayed New Authority Unlocked Modify Foster Care Pen. Once you collect the specified materials, you only need to pay 20% of the energy required to upgrade the foster care pen. At the same time, a fully upgraded foster care pen would have new functions. Level 2. Upgrade Foster Care Pen. Dark. Crystal, 98 out of 200 pebbles, 0 out of 70. Giant Beast Bones, 0 out of 30. Soul Wanderer. Heart, 0 out of 1. Energy. Seats, 58 out of 200. Function can significantly increase the potential and combat power of astral pets. Adds a small amount of identification techniques, heals all non-lethal injuries that aren't life-threatening. Non-demon type astral pets receive 50% effectiveness. Demon type astral pets receive 70% effectiveness. Su Ping was delighted. I really can modify it. The degree of freedom is pretty high. He said to the system, although the side effects are quite serious, the results are that good. Su Ping touched the fossils. These materials are pretty easy to find at the exploration base. He clicked his tongue. It's just that my energy is always tied up in training. The shop won't be able to stay open much longer. Yan Bing on the other end received his call. She was surprised and said, "The pet shop boss, the expert actually reached out to me." She picked up the call and said, "Boss, you were looking for me." Su Ping asked, "Hey, are you satisfied with the training results of your Thunderlight mouse?" Yan Bing happily replied, Yes, extremely satisfied. I don't even know how to thank you." Su Ping spoke up. "Oh, it just so happens I need you to help me with something." She was a bit surprised, thinking to herself, the boss actually needs my help. My chance to get closer to him is here. She immediately agreed. "Boss, just say the word. As long as it's within my ability, I'll definitely help." He stated his request. "I want to shoot a short video with you." Yan Bing, was stunned, her face blushing bright red. She suddenly thought of things that weren't exactly wholesome. A short video? What are we shooting it for?" Su Ping replied. "To get famous, obviously. Are you coming or not?" Yan Bing covered her face shyly, saying softly, "Keep your voice down." He grew impatient. "If you aren't coming, I'll find someone else." Her face turned beet red. Finally, she answered, "Yes, I know." Yan Bing walked over wearing an outfit that showed a bit more skin. She said, "Boss, I'm here." Su Ping was sitting at his desk and replied, "Oh, you're here." Seeing her, he coughed slightly. You're looking quite dressed up today." Yan Bing shyly replied, "Didn't you say you wanted to shoot a short video?" "For that reason." Su Ping calmed himself. "Ah, well, as long as it doesn't affect your ability to perform, it's fine. Quickly summon your Thunderlight mouse." Yan Bing was taken aback and asked, "The Thunderlight mouse, like, with me?" She covered her mouth in panic, saying, "That doesn't seem very practical, does it?" Su Ping was a bit confused, awed by her comment. "Why wouldn't it be practical? I'm just filming you summoning the Thunderlight mouse, then having it unleash the lightning slash and lightning flash, that's all." Yan Bing was completely stunned. "Oh, filming that is all it takes." Su Ping said, "What else?" "What did you think we were filming? Only this Thunderlight mouse can prove the effectiveness of my training. Did you not bring it with you?" She was sweating and quickly replied, I brought it. The Thunderlight mouse then poked its head out. Yan Bing suddenly remembered something. "Oh, right, boss. Even though our school's annual tournament is over, there's an upcoming exhibition match between the champion and the runner-up." She excitedly said to him, "The champion Ye Hao is going to have a match against me." Su Ping pondered, "An exhibition match, huh? If you get on stage with me at that time, then..." Yan Bing continued. "The promotional effect will definitely be great," he agreed. "Sure, this champion Ye Hao. Why didn't you win first place?" Yan Bing explained. "Yeah, the 9th rank bloodline of..." Ye Hao's silver spewing lightning dragon is just too strong, but I originally only expected to make it to the top 20 at best. I didn't expect to actually be able to take second place. It already far exceeded my expectations." Su Ping's expression became intrigued. "A 9th rank bloodline, huh? I didn't expect that someone in this academy could actually defeat a Thunderlight mouse." He blurted out the words, "interesting." The morning sky was clear and the sunlight shone down on the entire city and the Fengshan Academy. Everyone around was busy taking care of their pets. Yan Bing led the way with Su Ping following behind looking around. The Thunderlight Mouse is quite popular, huh? Yan Bing raised her right hand and clenched it into a fist. At the annual tournament, everyone saw the potential of the Thunderlight Mouse. Now it's become a celebrity pet shopkeeper Su while the competition hasn't started yet. Should we pass out some flyers? Su Ping looked away and replied, No, there's no need for that. These ordinary students only raise Thunderlight Mice just to follow the trend. That's all. They hope for quick, easy gains. Su Ping walked past Yan Bing, closed his eyes, and said, Even after the trend passes, they'll just quit because of the costs. When she heard him say that she naturally felt small, she pointed at herself and muttered, True. The money I borrowed from now hasn't even been paid back yet. The two of them walked past. A group of female students is buzzing around Diep Hao, eagerly asking him questions and praising him, confirming if he'll join the royal team after graduation. Ha ha! What a silly question. Rumor has it the top team already sent him an invitation. Wow, I'm so jealous. Diep Hao doesn't care at all, scanning his surroundings despite the chorus of praise. With Deep Thon's talent, he'll likely make the first team within 6 months. I bet he could get in directly. Suddenly, Diep Hao breaks away from the group of girls. He walks toward Yen Din and calls out, Classmate, wait a second, I actually have something to ask you. Seeing someone looking for her, Yen Din stops and asks, What do you need? When she asks, Diep Hao replies, Nothing much, just wanted to thank you for our match the other day. My lightning snake pet finally broke through its limits during our fight. It reached level 7. Upon hearing this, Yen Din closes her eyes and smiles. Oh, really? That's great, congratulations. To Bin, standing nearby, glances at her thinking, So she's the one who beat the lightning mouse. Diep Hao suddenly leans in close to Yen Din's face, places a hand on his chest and continues, Right. Also one more thing. During the match later, I suggest you stop using the lightning mouse. Seeing him lean in so close, she blushes slightly and asks, Why? Diep Hao stands up straight, brushes his hair, and says confidently, My lightning snake accidentally mastered a level 7 dragon aura. It hasn't learned to control it yet. Ha ha, you know how it is. Yen Din goes silent, eyes lowered slightly, bowing. Her head while listening to Diep Hao keep rambling, If the lightning mouse's bloodline gets suppressed, it'll be a sorry sight. To Bin turns his back to the pair but still sneaks a glance at her and Diep Hao. Listening to his talk, he adds, Fighting against the Fire Phoenix, at least the spectacle won't be bad. Hearing that, she replies, I understand. Diep Hao turns toward the group of girls waving, See you at the match. The girls laugh out loud. Ha ha, I'll try to go easy on you. To Bin turns to face Diep Hao's back. Unnecessary. Even if it were a beast king, the lightning mouse wouldn't be afraid, especially not an immature pet. Hearing this, Diep Hao glances back over his shoulder, sighs, and asks, Oh, and who is this? Yen Din gestures toward To Bin, eyes shifting to him as she introduces, I introduce you, this is shopkeeper, to the one who helped me train the lightning mouse. You could say he's half its master. She explains to To Bin, He is Diep Hao, our academy's champion of the year. He's someone who really knows how to spend money on pets. Hearing her say that, To Bin turns his gaze toward Diep Hao. Oh, my apologies, my apologies. Diep Hao stares at To Bin, who is standing with his hands clasped, frowning and thinking, The absurdity of that lightning mouse was cultivated by this young shopkeeper. He doubts it, thinking unless there's another master backing him up. After a moment of thought, Diep Hao speaks up. You're too kind. Money is just an external object. As long as it can improve my pet, any amount is worth it. I wonder, shopkeeper, would you be interested in training one for me? To Bin crosses his arms and says, That's great, but business at our shop is booming, so we're very busy. Since you're so sincere, I'll make an exception once. To Bin raises his hand, signaling 500,000, about 1,700,000,000 Vietnamese dong to get you. Priority skipping the line. How's that? Diep Hao, hearing To Bin, is anxious. 500,000 just as a priority fee? Is this guy for real? Yen Din stands behind To Bin, covering her mouth to suppress a laugh. Seeing Diep Hao's attitude, Bin shrugs his shoulders with a teasing tone. What's wrong, Master Diep, who loves his pets like life itself, is stingy about 500,000? Diep Hao, hearing this, gets furious, gritting his teeth, staring at Bin without a word. He angrily turns away. Money is not an issue. I can pay whatever you want, provided you have the skill. Bin, unfazed, responds with a firm gaze. Of course. See you at the match. Hearing Diep Hao say that he thinks a rich, handsome kid in school famous for spending money without blinking, I've come to the right place. Over here. Upon hearing what Diep Hao said, Dao Gaplai thought to himself, so, the rich, handsome guy who's famous at school really does blow through money without batting an eye. I've come to the right place. A beast is suddenly hit by a beam of blue power, screaming, "Ah, what a beautiful counterattack!" At the competition arena, the male student, standing behind and directing his monster, screams, "Damn it! Tear it apart!" The other beast growls and lunges quickly at Lang Nguyen and Snowball, who are standing nearby. Long Nguyen sees this, raises her hand, and the power surrounds her and Snowball. Humph, just a kid who acts recklessly. Speed up. Level 2. Snowball absorbs the power and grows fiercer, fangs and claws extending. Snowball quickly lunges at the other beast, dodges the attack and kicks the beast in the face. It fires a blast of energy into the monster's eyes. Then Snowball leaps high into the air, opens its mouth, and breathes fire onto the beast, incinerating. The dark flame technique. The MC exclaims, "What a beautiful match, contestant to Lang Nguyen wins." Yending watches the match. So strong, fearless, and kills. I belie. An opponent with higher combat power. Bin sits watching the match, rubbing his chin, thinking, not bad skills, just a pity there are still flaws. Nam Fong sits in his chair arms, tucks crossed, laughing with interest. If this were previous years, this level might have gotten into the team, but the monster contestants this year are truly numerous. Huyen DM. Yibo, her pet one cannot say it's not outstanding, but it's just not enough to be shocking. Qin Lang is excited. Right, the champion and runner-up this year, one can control a pet. With a rare level 9 bloodline and one relies on a level 1 lightning mouse to reach the finals. Truly, a war of the gods. Tongue relaxes, leaning back into his chair. If this young girl had a master's guidance, she could definitely become a future star. But when will one be able to meet that master? That depends on luck. But no one knows that the person has already appeared, our protagonist. The MC speaks up. Next is the final exciting match of the evening. Yending opens her tray and summons the lightning mouse, which immediately floats and appears beside the runner-up of the year, Fong Son To. Yendin faces two people, Diep Hao, along with the giant dragon behind him. The opponent champion of the year, Diep Hao. Long Nguyen sits in her chair looking at her brother in surprise. Useless brother. Why are you... Also, going up, Bin squats down, reaches out and pats the lightning mouse's rear, making it jump, and says, "Little guy, do you miss me? It's been a while since we fought together." The lightning mouse, frightened, avoids Bin and runs quickly to Yendin, hiding behind her legs, making her exclaim in surprise, "Lightning mouse squeak." The male student in the chair rubs his chin, asking, what's wrong with that beast king suddenly hiding away? Could it be afraid of the dragon aura? Lang Nguyen hears this and feels a headache. He's not even a pet trainer. Isn't that just asking for trouble? Diep Hao sees what happened and laughs loudly. Ha ha! If you had followed my advice earlier, you wouldn't be the laughingstock of the world. Yendin, hearing him say that, gets angry, waves her hand, and screams, Lak Feng, Lak Feng! It immediately appears, flying quickly toward Diep Hao, firing a level official grade beam. The MC narrates, wow, contestant. Yan Ying suddenly changes her tactics, launching an attack with the Lak Fuang, while also unleashing its most formidable skill. Ye Hao, seeing this, immediately commands his beast. Go, Silver Snake Thunder Dragon, play with it. The dragon beast lunges forward, claws bared at the Lak Fuang, while the Lak Fuang opens its maw, unleashing a torrent of power at the dragon beast. The beast roars, discharging its own energy. It strikes the Lak Fuang, which is unable to defend itself and cries out in pain. The MC is shocked. What a single roar shattered an 8th-tier beast skill truly worthy of its reputation. It's a 9th-tier bloodline dragon beast. This is too overpowered. Yan Ying, seeing this, turns to the Lak Fuang with worry and commands it to try again. It listens, then draws in its power. Yahao raises his hand, his voice dripping with mockery. Don't bother. Now you can clearly see the gap between us. Silver Snake Thunder Dragon defend against the Lok Fuang. After drawing, in enough power it fires back at the dragon beast. The Silver Snake Thunder Dragon prepares to swallow the attack. Careless, or is it just the overconfidence of the strong? Despite such terrifying power, the dragon beast only sustains a minor scratch. It slowly lowers the wings it had raised to shield itself. When Yan Ying sees this, her face darkens instantly. Her eyes widen. The Lok Fuang's all-out attack didn't inflict any real damage. She helplessly clutches her head in despair. The announcer's words continue praising the dragon. It's too desperate. The more they struggle, the more bitter it gets. This is the crushing pressure of a ninth-tier bloodline. The audience watching. The spectacle is also astonished, blurting out, "Oh my God, so strong. The Silver Snake Ray is an 8th-tier skill, yet it felt like nothing more than a tickle." The man sitting in his seat observes everything. Even after mastering an 8th-tier skill, a 5th-tier Lok Fuang is still no match for the Silver Snake Thunder Dragon. The two heads of the dragon beast absorb energy, waiting for Ye Hao's command to strike. Silver Snake Thunder Dragon, show her what you can do. The dragon beast spews massive flames and freezing ice toward the Lok Fuang. Flaming dragon breath, silver wing storm, glacial freeze. The MC excitedly shouts, "Silver Snake Thunder Dragon!" It actually used 3 beast skills at once. Fire ice, its control is so masterful. Although it wasn't aimed directly, the range is truly massive. The Lok Fuang is surrounded by the 2 streams of power and panics. Seeing this, Yan Ying tries to reassure it. "Lok Fuang, don't be afraid." The raging flames quickly rush toward her. Yan Ying hastily uses her power to create a shield for protection. The MC says anxiously. Under such pressure, the contestant can only prioritize self-protection. Being careless, she leaves an opening. The Lok Fuang commits a mistake and gets hit. Just like that, it falls. Lok Fuang. It was actually hit by the barrage skill. Yan Ying, seeing this, rushes over, shouting, "Lok Fuang!" The crowd murmurs, "This is the champion of the league." Of king-level power, completely crushing her. Yan Ying kneels beside the Lok Fuang. The Thunder Rat also runs over. The Silver Snake Thunder Dragon is much stronger than when we fought last time. There's no way to win anymore. I'm afraid even the Thunder Rat. Hao sighs. How boring. Only managing to train? This kind of low-level beast. And yet you dare to charge such high fees. Su Ping can no longer stand by and watch. He steps toward the dragon-red power swirling around him and the Thunder Rat. The Thunder Rat begins to look vicious, staring at the dragon, which surprises Yan Ying. The Thunder Rat's aura has changed. Su Ping's face hardens as he commands the Thunder Rat, "Go eliminate it." Upon receiving the command, the Thunder Rat dashes like lightning. In a flash, it is already before the dragon. Without letting it react, the Thunder Rat claws a long gash on the dragon's belly with its Ghost 6 claws, making the beast howl in pain. The MC is thrilled. Wow, a Beast King has entered the fray. Ye Hao glances. Behind thinking, the speed is even faster than in the finals. The dragon is trying to heal the wound on its armor. The MC misses no detail. The Thunder Rat actually tore through. Damn! The chest armor of the Silver Snake Thunder Dragon. The malice from the Ghost 6 claws is even suppressing the dragon's innate powerful regenerative abilities. Ye Hao feels intrigued, raising his hand while absorbing energy, saying, "Haha, that's more like it." That's what makes a victory worth having. 4th level power boost. Ye Hao commands Silver Snake Thunder Dragon, stomp it to death. The Thunder Rat quickly dodges. Yan Ying quickly creates a shield to cover them, but Su Ping just stands there. Contestant Ye Hao wants to freeze the entire ground. For a beast that can't fly, that's a fatal blow. The Thunder Rat stares at the approaching ice sheet and growls. The MC observes closely. The Thunder Rat has nowhere to run. Is it the end? Like this. Yan Ying is frozen solid by the ice, and so is Su Ping. He turns his head back desperately, commanding Thunder Rat, use the 3rd combo move I taught you. The weakness is its mouth. Suddenly, black smoke erupts and several lightning bolts shoot out. 10-direction thunder prison. What is the Thunder Rat planning from the black? Hit as smoke, two more Thunder Rats lunge forward, multiple Thunder image clones. They dash rapidly toward their opponent. They've broken out. The Thunder Rat isn't frozen, so it used the path cleared by the lightning. Yehao frowns, muttering, "3 of them. One of them must be the real one." He watches a Thunder Rat leap quickly. Up the wall. Although it's unclear, that must be the one with the lightning armor. Don't think you can get past me, attack it. The dragon, hearing the command, roars ice toward the Thunder Rat. That Yehao is watching, the Thunder Rat, is fine. Yehao is shocked. It's a fake. Could the one attacking from the front be the real one? He snaps his head to the right and orders the dragon, Silver Snake, Thunder Dragon. This one is also a clone. Su Ping, seeing Yehao's actions, darkens his expression. You fool, all 3 were just to distract you. The real Thunder Rat unexpectedly lunges from behind the dragon, catching the beast completely off guard. Yehao glances behind his jaw, dropping in shock. What the? How is there a 4th one? The dragon howls in pain as the Thunder Rat strikes its mouth. The MC gasps. The mouth, the only part of the Silver Snake Thunder Dragon not covered by armor. The Thunder Rat managed to hit it. The audience watching the match is speechless. The explosive power of a Beast King is so strong. How strange. I heard Yehao's Silver Snake Thunder Dragon had already broken through to the 7th tier. So, damn it, I still can't beat that lightning rat. Deep Hao gritted his teeth, frustrated by the rat's fighting style. Why is his style so different now? He glanced over to where Yen Din and Tobin were talking, then glared at that guy, clenching his fist in irritation. Damn it, he thought. If I lose now, everyone will say my championship was just pure luck. He waved his hand behind him, ordering his dragon beast to unleash its flames. The silver lightning dragon beast opened its razor-sharp jaws, ready to blast fire at Tobin and Yen Din. The MC shouted in panic, "The silver lightning dragon beast is attacking the Beastmaster directly." But Tobin was frozen in place, unable to dodge. Seeing this, Tobin looked helpless and sighed. How pathetic. Lightning Rat moved fast. The rat dashed in, generating a burst of power to block the dragon. It launched a concentrated blast right at the dragon's wounded jaw, causing it to howl in pain. Talk about a backfire trying to gain an edge only to make things worse. The silver lightning dragon beast's jaw wound had been brutally struck again. The audience and the judges were stunned, mouths wide open in disbelief. The dragon couldn't hold on anymore. It collapsed, shocking everyone. The silver lightning dragon beast had fallen. It's hard to believe, but the lightning rat actually defeated the silver lightning dragon beast up in the stands. Everyone was gasping in shock while the commentator's voice boomed, "The silver lightning dragon beast actually lost, and it was a total defeat. How on earth did this happen?" Down on the field, Diep Hao stood dumbfounded. The lightning rat. It fought so skillfully. Did he purposely hide his true power during the finals? Or is it because of that guy? The announcer continued. As expected of the Beast King, too, Yen Din has successfully wiped away the shame of the annual finals. Yen Din breathed a sigh of relief, thinking, "Oh, it's finally over." Tobin stood there, emerging from the ice with a smile. "Satisfied with my strength now. By the way, is the 500,000 in cash or bank transfer?" Diep Hao replied, looking bitter. "I'll transfer the money later, but answer me one thing first. Can my silver lightning dragon beast be trained to become as strong as that lightning rat?" With a cracking sound, the ice shattered as Tobin broke free. "Of course it can. But whether it's your turn or not, that depends on my mood." Seeing Tobin about to leave, Yen Din awkwardly called out, Wait for me." Shadow Watcher observed everything and analyzed. "Did you guys notice? The guy on the stage along with that young girl, his strength is definitely not simple." Hoako, sitting on the judge's bench, replied, "I noticed it early on. Behind the lightning rat's performance was his guidance. Even Bin Hai and Lan Dong couldn't give him a hard time. What a pity we've already filled our team roster for this year." Then he turned to Min Tung and said, "Vice Principal Dong, which class is that student in?" The man smiled awkwardly and replied, "Ha ha, he's quite modest. After the match, you should go ask him yourself." Meanwhile, Mintung thought to himself, I have absolutely no impression of this person. An elite student like that, whose aura doesn't even lose to Diep Hao's yet. His advisor didn't report him at all.